vacs, and service trucks. Info at maauctions.com.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, Denim Man. Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CHAR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Oiler Insider and Jersey Aficionado.
Happy with what he's delivered for them. He goes to the sideline here. They'll play 5 wide. Kelly rips one in traffic. Touchdown Toronto. Kevin Gatzola. Double blue.
60% talent, 40% Swedish hair cream.
Lucas hits it high in the air to deep right field. And Jones will turn and watch it go. Up into the second deck for Nathan Lucas. And it's a 4-1 game.
It's all gas, no brakes.
From the Winnipeg 15. Pichardo looking to his right. Austin back to the 5. End zone touchdown Edmonton. And the Oaks have life. Austin Mack, 7th of the season.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Wednesday, good morning. Welcome to the Tom Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. Beautiful day. We'll have a lot of fun. Get through Hump Day. Tom Gazzola alongside Donovan Paulson, Joshua Fenwick, and Cam Tate inside the Sports 1440 studios. We would love you to play along with us all day long. Text us 1-833-401-1440. And, of course, if you're watching on YouTube, I know some do, you can get into the chat. Fenny's watching it. He monitors it. He makes sure everybody's kosher. He's stringent. He will autocorrect you and make sure your grammar is good. That's what he does. I'm kidding. Of course, Bet365, presenting sponsor of the Tom Gazzola Show. Canada just hit the biggest home run of the summer. Bet365 is available in Alberta, and it's here to stay. Download the app. Must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Another wonderful show for you today. We'll talk CFL with John Hodge from 3 Down Nation. Speck will stop by at his usual time, 8 a.m., and then Blair Kirchhoff from the Kansas City Star. We're going to talk about the Chiefs. Can they improve on that 6-11 season? I would think so. And then Dave Schlemko will slide into the co-host chair. Looking forward to seeing Schlemmer. Ryan Holt, Bakersfield Condors, play-by-play man, extraordinaire, PR guy, jack of all trades, award-winning executive in the AHL. Boys?
He has a few titles.
He does.
I think it tells you that he's pretty good at his job.
Really good at his job. And great guy.
Never met him personally. I've heard fantastic things, but I do know for a fact that there's about 7 million things he does at his job. And if I had to do that job, I would be nowhere close to as good at as he is.
Hey, don't count yourself out. He probably had no clue what he was doing going into that gig when he got it. And he's grown in the role. I would say he's probably hungry for an NHL job. I know he likes Bakersfield. I know he loves his job and the people he works with. I know he's tight with Keith Gretzky. But like anyone, you want to get to the show, right? But I told him, I texted him last night after you were able to get a hold of him and say, hey, you want to come on? He said, yep. I said, hey, Holty, you're the headliner of the day. He's like, oh, no, I have to shave. I'm like, you just be you, pal. You just be you, and the rest will take care of itself. So looking forward to catching up with Holty. Owen Newkirk will round out today's guests from DLLS Sports, and he covers the Dallas Stars. That'll be great. Maybe we'll take a shot at the Cowboys. I'm kidding. I know there's so many Cowboys fans out there. They're very sensitive people. Have you noticed that, Dono?
I have noticed that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's due to the fact that their team chokes away every important game. Maybe it's because their team has been, fake irrelevant or fake
Mid.
relevant. Mid,
as they say.
They
Is that fair?
I would call them mid.
Thank
I mean,
you.
they're not bad. They're not good. They're mid. They're average.
Yeah. Anyway, I briefly saw a Cowboys fan yesterday, Derek Van Diest from NHL.com, and I know the Cardinals played the Cowboys over the weekend as well in preseason play. Not that that matters, but yeah, what a overhyped team. And Jerry Jones has done a wonderful job selling his overhyped team, and they've become quite valuable. But anyway, regardless, we'll talk Stars with Owen Newkirk later in the show, of course. I was talking to Pete and Brad from K97 as I was leaving yesterday morning, and they're like, "Did you talk about live golf?" I was like, "What now?" They're like, "Oh, it's dead." I'm like, "Yeah, it's been a long, slow, painful death." And just catching up on things now. I mean, it was inevitable, wasn't it? A couple weeks ago, there was a report that somebody was going to pump in a couple $100 million into live golf. Why? Why? Not necessary. It was the rogue league that surprisingly lasted for 3 years. I know it was backed by the Saudis and their People's Fund, and there's a lot of money in there, but it made a lot of people very rich very quickly. But you knew the PGA was going to survive this. So there's some discussion about no plan to bring back returning member program, which would be potential pathway for DeChambeau, Rahm, and Cam Smith to return from the Live Golf League. Koepka made the return. Hasn't gone well from him. He has not been happy with his game. I just thought from the get-go, Live was doomed to fail. I mean, it was ambitious, had deep pockets behind it. But the PGA is a PGA. It's an institution. And ultimately, it wins. So the one that surprised me the most out of all this was when Jon Rahm made the jump. Because when Liv was getting going, Rahm was the one who was making the big statements. Him and Rory, I thought, that spoke very eloquently in defending, quote unquote, the game. And then he takes a major bag, goes to Liv. The game, not the same for him. And we'll see what happens. You can't keep those guys out of the PGA, Dono. You can't. They're stars.
No, you can't. And I mean, Koepka got back in for paying what, $5 million, right? So,
yes.
Which is chump change relative to what he got for his contract to go over to Live, right?
That's right.
So
yeah.
It's really nothing at the end of the day. But for you can't keep the big guys out, but I think you can definitely keep out some of the lesser field that was over at Live, and we'll see how it shakes out, because it is going to be an interesting story. Maybe those guys reps want to see a little bit of a more leeway from the PGA, because I mean, to deny guys employment now that they are unemployed.
Yep.
I don't know what the grounds for legal stuff would be, but there might be some grounds there. I have no idea. I'm not a lawyer, but I'd imagine there would be some legal grounds potentially. And so for the PGA, yeah, I would keep out the lesser guys, and I would probably want the stars back, but they've got to pay their punishment. $5 million is a little low to me, though, based on how much those guys got as a result. Like, hell, if you all you had to do is go join a different golf league for 3 years and you got $200 million if you're some of these guys. I mean, what a no-brainer if you're, one of those guys who says, hey, all I care about is money and I don't care who's backing me. Right?
Essentially. I've enjoyed Rory McIlroy throughout all this. I wasn't like a huge Rory guy prior to the Live creation, but the way he handled himself, I thought was really well. I've got a lot more respect for him. I think a lot of maturation, the fact that he took that mantle on himself. And then he was asked about it last week at the BMW Championship, and I thought his quote, clever. I'll read it to you. I would argue, have they brought value to Live. I think the PGA Tour is in a really good spot. Ouch. Anyway, and then there's an article on ESPN that says Scheffler said they want to compete against the best players in the world, including the Live Golf League. And he said that those golfers should be allowed to return with penalties. And I think eventually they'll figure something out. But anyway, it's coming to an end. I thought it was inevitable, but we're getting the end of Live Golf. And it was the Rogue League. It was the ABA. It was the WHA. And it is almost no longer. It was the USFL. And it looks like its time has come to a close. Okay. Have to ask you about this. I saw Jay and Victoria's ask about it. Nathan Lucas, Dono. Do you mind the aggressiveness late in the game like that? Or did it piss you off?
Oh, boy.
You know I had to ask that.
Yeah, I did know you had to ask that.
You're very upset about this.
I'm not very upset about it. Usually I'm a guy who likes someone being aggressive. It just depends. I'm going to say I don't like the aggressive there. That's one that to me it kills your team. Usually I'm game for aggressive, but this is one where I don't like it. That they had a lot of chances where they just kind of threw things away yesterday,
well,
right?
like Guerrero throwing the ball away at
Exactly.
first. Yeah.
Literally throwing things away in Guerrero's case.
Yeah.
And for this Lucas one, I have to be just disappointed in the decision, right? I think that's the only thing you can be. You can respect the attempt, but at the end of the day, it is a pretty disappointing decision. For a team that's made a lot of disappointing decisions this year, that's one that I think you have to be pretty high up there in terms of just what are you doing?
Yeah, take the single. He scored a couple runs. Got to within two. I think it was Vladdy on deck.
Which is probably an out anyways.
Unfortunately. Oh, boy. But when you... I feel like I know what most Blue Jays fans would say, considering this season and how bad it's been for Vladdy, especially at home. But if you want to spark him, what a moment to rise to the occasion. You scored 2 runs. You got a guy on first. Game's on. You should be beating Kansas City. And you get up to the dish. And he's good in pressure moments. He has been. Look how good he was in the playoffs last year.
In the playoffs, he was an absolute baller. And so far this year, the clutch moments have kind of dropped off a cliff for him, right? Where he's succeeded in them. And just the overall ability with the bat has died. So I don't trust him at all right now. He's probably one of the last guys I want up to bat, frankly, with the game on the line right now.
Isn't that insane?
It's crazy to say.
Yeah.
The switch over just a 8-month span, something like that, right?
Yep.
9 months, probably more like 10. But Nathan Lucas, he's showing you why he's largely considered by most in baseball to be a fourth outfielder, guy who you don't want always playing. There's some brain farts. There is some tough decisions at times. There's not a great player in there, but he's a serviceable major league player who I just probably don't want playing as much as he's played. And he makes a mistake. It's been a Jays season filled with mistakes. So who am I to totally say Nathan Lucas, that is the worst play I've ever seen? I can't say that because I've seen a lot of worse plays from the Jays this year.
And I think the throw that Ernie Witt Jr. made was pretty bang on, too. Get the out.
You mean Bobby Witt Jr.?
Or Bobby Witt Jr., so not Ernie Witt. Holy Ernie Witt.
Yeah, that's
Blast
a combo.
from the past.
Bobby Witt Jr. is one of the premier defensive infielders. He's one of the premier guys at shortstop here. But it's a good throw. It's a good play from Kansas City, but still, it's, to me, you've got to know what the situation of the game is if you're Nathan Lucas. And it looked like a guy who just trying a little too hard, like the Jays have kind of all season.
Couple of brain farts. They lose the opener to Kansas. I think 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position was the stat as well.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic Jays this year. They have the least runs scored in baseball for a reason.
Cleveland wins 6 in a row for them, and the Jays now all of a sudden 3 games back, where they clawed their way to within half a game over the weekend. Tough go against the Yankees, drop 2 of 3, and then start this series out with a loss to the Royals. The Twins, Mariners, Orioles, and Rangers all in the mix, all ahead of the Jays technically and literally in the standings. Okay. I'm going to get to that text from Jay and Victoria, who is mad about the Jays, which I'm happy about. Says, well, the Jays did it. Just when I thought they can go on a run, they break my heart again, but at least it's August and not the World Series. I am now with DP, and the Jays are not going to make the playoffs. At least the NFL starts soon. I should probably give a shout-out to the Little League team. Another upset, but they play Japan next. If you didn't catch it, Canada beat Panama, and then they beat Korea at the Little League World Series. First time team representing Canada at the Little League World Series has won 3 games at the tournament since 1998. And like Jay and Victoria mentioned, they take on Japan, which is a powerhouse. Why not Canada, boys? Why not the guys from Vancouver? Those kids are on fire.
Hey, I don't know if you saw some of their celebrations and stuff, particularly after a strikeout, the pitchers and stuff. But they're pumping their chest. They're doing the old like King Kong style.
Do you like
thing.
that?
I love that, especially when it's from like 12-year-old kids. It's hilarious to me when it's from a 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I just find it funny. And you just like, because the pro athletes are obviously going to be doing their F yeah and their insert expletive here, whereas the little kids, they don't know what that means, and so they're just hitting their chest. They're doing all this fun stuff with their arms. They're getting all excited. They're doing all these funny motions. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed watching the the little highlights of that. That was a fun one. And just and hell, good job for Canada. We'll see if they can go any further. But man, Japan is scary.
Good for those guys, man.
Good for those kids.
Honestly, they're from Vancouver's Little Mountain. If you're not catching the Little League World Series, doing good so far. But like Donovan said, and Jay and Victoria, they take on Japan, which is a powerhouse. And hey, best of luck to our the kids rocking and rolling at the Little League World Series, which is great. We have great baseball players, and we're talking about who were we talking about this with earlier in the week? Adam Scully, when we were talking golf. It's not just a hockey country anymore. We have great athletes. We just qualified men's and women's, I believe, for flag football to the Olympics. Shout out to Paul Lapolis and his crew. Tennis, we're seeing it. Golf, we're seeing it. Soccer, we're seeing it. Men's and women's, which is fantastic. Basketball, it's coming around. It's good to see. And then on the baseball side, got good baseball players, man. And we'll see if those guys can keep the hot hand going against Japan at the Little League World Series. All right, we're going to step out. Keep those texts coming in, 1-833-401-1440. We're off and running for a Wednesday edition of the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. When we return, it'll be John Hodge from 3 Down Nation.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan. I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
The Chicken Parmy Burger, McExtreme pulled pork, garlic and black pepper chicken McNuggets, cheesy bacon McFlavor fries, and the Stroop Waffle McFlurry. You've scrolled them. You've screenshotted them. You've never been able to order them until now. This is the McDonald's World Menu Heist. The most wanted menu items taken from around the world, now in Canada. Get them while you can. For a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Yeah, it's me again. And if you're sidelined with a sports injury, you already know nothing's more frustrating than being told to just rest. At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we get athletes moving sooner with our zero gravity treadmills. You can run, train, and rebuild strength with up to 80% less body weight, so your injury heals while your confidence comes roaring back. When your sports injury's yelling, whisper back. LeadingEdgePhysio.com, because life shouldn't hurt.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. And don't forget about our employee pricing. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
It's time to hit the green. Elevate your golf game with Country Club Tour Golf Academy. No matter your experience, our PGA of Canada teaching pros are here to help. Enjoy lessons year-round between our 7 CCT golf courses and 2 state-of-the-art indoor facilities. Choose the location convenient for you. We offer private lessons, group lessons, expert club fittings, and junior camps. Visit our website to learn more and get ready to take your game to the next level. Booking is easy. Go to countryclubtour.com/golf academy and schedule your lesson today.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
Photographers, start your cameras. Vision Credit Union's annual photo contest is back. We're asking you to show us the people, places, and moments that made you glad you chose this rural life. Maybe it's the view from your farm, a walk down Main Street, neighbors pitching in, a weekend at the rodeo, or a sunset down a back road. Share your photo to show why life in rural Alberta is a choice worth celebrating. Enter and vote at whatsyourshare.ca.
Hey, Mom!
'The Tom Gazzola Show' on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
$7:22. Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you. It is the Tom Gazzola Show presented by Bet365. Tom, Donovan Paulson, Josh Fenwick, and Cam Tate in studio with you as we cruise along on what should be a beautiful day in the Big E, the Double E, on a bye week. Well-deserved 8-3, couple of wins after a couple of losses in dramatic fashion in a walk-off last Friday over the Bombers. So things are pretty good around here CFL-wise. And to discuss the league, John Hodge joins us from 3 Down Nation. John, good morning. Thank you for being here with us. Always appreciate it. And what a week it was last week in the CFL. Let's quickly recap because I know we have a lot to look ahead to, and there's some exciting action this week. But what stood out to you from last week around the league?
Well, let's start in Edmonton. The thing that stood out to me the most, at least after the game, is the fact that Edmonton has an exceptionally high chance of hosting a playoff game for the first time since 2015.
Yeah.
This is something that, we talked about on this week's episode of the 3 Down Nation podcast, and I'm at 99% confidence that that's going to happen. This is an Edmonton team. They've got 4 points on everybody else, 6 points on the rest of the West Division minus Saskatchewan. And when you look at the schedule, this Edmonton team is already done playing Montreal.
Yep.
They're almost done playing Saskatchewan. They've played twice. There is a rubber match coming up, but and then they're done playing BC, a team that is they're 500, but they've been outside of Montreal the best team in the league for the past month, arguably.
Yep, absolutely.
Given that they've won 4 straight games, whereas you look at Saskatchewan and it's like, okay, this team has not yet played Montreal. You look at Winnipeg, this team has not played Montreal or Saskatchewan yet. You look at even the BC Lions. Okay, they've played well, but after they've got Ottawa this week and then they've got Montreal back to back. Full credit to them for winning 4 straight games, but it's a lot easier to do that when you don't have the Alouettes up to bat. So the Elks have done a ton of great work this year, and that win over Winnipeg, I think, has been a huge swing. Right, if they lose that game, they're only up by 2 points.
Yep.
In the standings. Winnipeg is knocking on them. Saskatchewan's knocking on the door, and with that victory, they've really bought themselves some breathing room, and that's on top of a favorable schedule the rest of the way.
And John, with Sask, I was thinking about this. A couple of tough losses for the Riders, and Sam Emilus goes on the 6-game injured list. If you're in Riderville, would you be a little bit concerned right now with how things have gone over the last few weeks?
Yeah, I think that you have to be, and I don't think there's reason for concern necessarily, but I think you need to start looking around and going, okay, like we're the reigning Grey Cup champions. We looked really sharp over the first third of the season, and we've had injuries. This is one of the most banged up teams in the Canadian Football League, and it's not just the number of injuries, but the seriousness of some of the injuries to some of their star players. Roland Milligan Jr. is almost certainly out for the year. And then you've got guys like Devon Campbell, who's been out long term. Samuel Emilus going back on 6 games. Kian Schaefer-Baker has now missed the last 3 games. And, it's unclear when a lot of these guys are going to return. And, when your secondary is hurt, when you've got all these injuries in the receiving core, I think what we're seeing is Trevor Harris is having to hold on to the ball a little bit longer in some cases. And he's been taking extra hits, and as a result, I think he's thrown a couple extra interceptions as of late. He had 2 in that loss to BC this past week. So I don't think there's reasons for panic in Saskatchewan, but I do think that this is a team that needs a little bit of a gut check, that needs a little bit of a refocus going, okay, we're not at our best right now, but they also weren't at their best necessarily in the Grey Cup with some very key injuries there. Keyshawn Johnson, for instance, did not play the Grey Cup game. So they've dealt with this type of thing before, maybe not to this exact extreme, but they need to pull up their socks a little bit, because right now they can let this even second place in the West Division slip away from them quickly with the way the Lions are surging.
And that's exactly why I asked you about that. And I like the way you described it, more so kind of looking around, because now all of a sudden it's getting a little bit crowded in the middle of the West Division. Not that it's a very big division by all means, but yeah, BC all of a sudden, like you said, the best team, if not one of the best teams in the league over the last month or so, a 4-game winning streak. Are the Lions starting to evolve into the team that we thought that they would eventually become and a contender?
Yes, 100%. And I mean, this team's defense through the first couple weeks of the season was unbelievably bad, like a massive liability. And, you think back to that week 2 game, or week 3 game, I guess it was, their second game in week 3, against Hamilton, where Bo Levi Mitchell was like literally just playing pitch and catch in the secondary. It's like something you've never seen before. But Mike Benavides, the team's defensive coordinator, deserves a ton of credit. Over the last couple of months, this team has steadily gotten better on that side of the ball. And they've been excellent as of late. I mean, this team forced 4 takeaways against Saskatchewan. That's the most giveaways that Saskatchewan has had in a game all year by 2. They hadn't had more than 2 in a game before that. And, they're number 1 against the run. It's really hard to put you away as a team when you can't run the ball. And not that teams have necessarily had an opportunity to put the Lions away, because they've been so good at sustaining leads, certainly in that Saskatchewan game. And offensively, I mean, Nathan Rourke talked to 3 Down about it this week, saying he doesn't feel like he's up where he should be, and the offense isn't cooking like it needs to. And, well, I mean, obviously, Nathan's entitled to his opinion. He's got high expectations for himself and the offense. But, I mean, he also threw for 355 yards against Saskatchewan, and he has 300-yard games in a row, dating back to their win over Hamilton earlier this month. So I mean, defensively, they've been excellent. Offensively, I think they've been improving, and they've been, kind of getting back to where they need to be. And then, this team is rock solid on specials. So, you look at the schedule, they've got Ottawa this week. I think this win streak certainly goes from 4 to 5.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's Montreal twice and Saskatchewan once. And obviously, depending on where we are in the West Division standings at that point, depending on how well BC can weather the Alouette storm, if we can call it that, that Week 17 game, September 25th, almost exactly 1 month ago, 1 month from now, I should say, against Saskatchewan, is going to have absolutely massive implications for the playoffs.
It's getting juicy, John. It's getting really juicy in the CFL, and I love this time of year in this league. John Hodge with us from 3 Down Nation at the bottom of the West Division standings. I've got the Ticats Stamps game this week, and I'm looking forward to get down to McMahon. First time for me this year. VA was a full participant yesterday, it sounds like. No Dedrick Mills lately as well. What have you made of the Calgary Stampeders season and them sitting at 4-6, but by no means, they're not out of it.
VA was officially a limited participant yesterday. I think they sent out an updated injury report. But regardless, I mean, based on the comments from head coach and general manager Dave Dickinson, I do expect Vernon Adams Jr. to play. Obviously, head injuries are, they can change. So I don't think, certainly Dickinson didn't announce that they would both, meaning Adams and Dedrick Mills, who's also dealing with a head injury, will play. But I think it's certainly trending that way. That's what he indicated. Look, I mean, this game on Saturday is must win for the Calgary Stampeders. Like, this team has won the turnover battle in both of their last 2 games and done it by multiple takeaways, Tom. And they've lost them both. They lost a tight one to Toronto back in Week 10. They lost a tight one to BC in Week 11. And these losses have really mounted in the standings for them. They're 4-6. I mean, they're not out of it, but again, you look at the way BC is resurging.
Yep.
Saskatchewan is going to get healthy at some point. Winnipeg, I thought they were extremely unimpressive in that second half at Edmonton, but you can never count them out. And so, I think 4 teams in the West Division are going to make the playoffs. I think the crossover is going to come into effect. And if you're the Stampeders, you have to get this win this week, as far as I'm concerned. You went into Hamilton. You blew the doors off the Ticats to start this month. You won 44-20. And, I mean, offensively, this team is great. Defensively, they've generated a ton of takeaways. Outside of that, they've given up a lot of yardage. And that's been kind of a surprise because this unit, in my opinion, is the best front 4 in the Canadian Football League. They can get pressure with 4. They're not every team can do that. So defensively, I almost feel like they've been less than the sum of their parts. And so that's the unit that I'm looking to improve in the second half of the season. If this team makes the playoffs, I think it'll be because the defense is resurging. Though I am fearful, especially if they lose this week, that Calgary will make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's interesting because last season was pretty strong for them, and then this year, kind of up and down. And same for the Bombers. I know Tommy Condell was telling us last week going into the game in Edmonton that it's been consistently inconsistent, and that was pretty much how the game was on Friday night. I mean, they were so good in that first half. The time of possession was stacked in their favor, and then the Elks just took over in the second half. Where is Winnipeg at in its life cycle, if you will, John, do you think?
Well, I mean, this isn't the team that it used to be.
No.
And that's not to say it's a bad team. But every week, right, when it's time for the coordinators to speak to the media in Winnipeg, whether it's Mike O'Shea every day speaking to the media in Winnipeg, it's, we hear things like, we just got to keep doing the work, or, we're just not consistent enough right now, or, we're just not executing consistent enough, or, and there's a word for teams that over a long period of time are unable to consistently execute and perform. And that's mediocre.
Yeah.
Right. They're just mediocre. Like, at some point, you're not a great team that's just, no, at some point you're just okay.
Yeah.
And mediocre doesn't mean bad, because they're not bad. And yeah, and I could see them turning it on and finishing strong. And dare I say, hosting a playoff game. That upcoming schedule is not friendly. In the next 5 games, they've got Montreal twice and Saskatchewan twice. But hey, we've all seen the Bombers, rise from the ashes before. 2024, everybody counted them out of it. Of course, they go and they finish first and go to the Grey Cup. And so I'm not counting them out. But yeah, I mean, special teams, they are the best team in the Canadian Football League by a long shot. The statistics back that up, and I think that has been a real strength for them. But defensively, they are below average, and offensively, they are below average. And the numbers back all of that up. Offensively, they run the ball well, but they do not throw the ball well. They do not protect Zach Collaros well enough. Their receiving core has not made enough plays, and their quarterback play has not been strong enough. And then defensively, the pass rush has actually really improved from last season. They had the fewest sacks in the Canadian Football League last year. But the downside is the secondary, a unit that has a lot of really highly paid players and guys who have been named all CFL before, Dietrich Nichols, Evan Holm, come to mind. It's just not been sharp enough. Like, I think the best player in their secondary this year has been Major Williams, the rookie at boundary corner. And when you're paying guys 160, 180, 190K in the secondary, they should not be getting outplayed by a rookie. So I'm not writing the Bombers off, but by the same token, I mean, we saw that game at Edmonton where this team looked like the Montreal Alouettes in the first half and then played like the Ottawa Redblacks in the second half. It got ugly. And at a certain point, you just have to speak honestly about yourselves. And I'm not sure if they're doing that. They still seem to, I don't know. At least my perception of it is that they seem like a momentarily embarrassed great team. And at a certain point, when the same issues have been plaguing you for long enough, you're just average.
Yeah. What a contrast. They looked so good, like you said, like the Owls in the first, and then like the Red Blacks, who clearly have had their struggles. And speaking of the Red Blacks, John, Jim Popp coming in to take over, and it's just a mess. 16 straight losses dating back to last year. 0-10 this year. They fired a bunch of people. This is Ryan Dinwiddie's first crack at being a GM. I know he's been an excellent coach, championship caliber coach with the Toronto Argonauts, but how would you describe the situation in Ottawa? What do you make of the situation in Ottawa? How quickly can this be cleaned up? It was a pretty damn good franchise when it came into the league, and the last few years have been very, very rough.
Yeah, I mean, it's heartbreaking for Red Blacks fans, right? I mean, those are the folks who and the folks still showing up. I mean, attendance-wise, they're down over 16% from last year, and it's not pretty. They're going to finish, I think, almost certainly with the lowest attendance this year in franchise history, even lower than, for example, last year that the Rough Riders were in operations. Now, I don't think there's an existential problem here. I spoke last week with President and CEO, OSEG President and CEO Mark Gowdy, who said that the Red Blacks are going to be around as long as the Canadian Football League is around, which he hopes is centuries.
Yeah.
So there's absolutely no existential risk. But by that same token, I mean, this has been absolutely pathetic. You've lost 16 straight games. That's the most in modern CFL history. It's the most since 1950. Like, it's almost mind-boggling to say out loud, and you're only 2 more losses away from the equivalent of an entire season of losing, which is crazy. They haven't necessarily been blown out all the time. They probably should have won back in week 4. They had Montreal on the ropes. They didn't take care of that. They also definitely should have won back in week 7. They had Winnipeg on the ropes. Game ended up going to overtime. They let the Bombers win. Yeah, I mean, short term, there's going to be more pain. Long term, I've been led to believe Jim Popp's there for the rest of this year, and his job is essentially to, on the football operations side, help Mark Gowdy make some decisions as to what that kind of hierarchy of or what that operation should look like from just an operations like flowchart standpoint. Who makes sense where do they need to bring in outside people? Where can they keep inside people? And then the other part of it is he's spent the last several years working in personnel in the United Football League, and I think they're hoping to get a jump start on 2027 by bringing up guys from that league who are good football players and fit the Canadian Football League well, or possibly even better than the CFL. And if you can bring in, a handful of guys, get them under 2-year contracts and have them play 3, 4, 5, 6 games to end 2026, that could theoretically kickstart you for 2027 or at the very least, it's like, okay, we've got these 4 guys. Okay, this guy's going to be our will. This guy's going to be our boundary receiver. Okay, but when we go to free agency, this particular spot, we don't have a UFL guy there. That's a gaping hole. Let's overspend. Let's bring in a stud player at that spot. Like, I think that's the type of thing they're hoping to do over the second half of the season and kind of recharge that roster with almost like you can almost call what they're about to do like an extended preseason, right? They're not making the playoffs. They're 8 points behind everybody else. Yeah. It's not happening. So you may as well make use of this time. And as for beyond 2026, I mean, I think Ryan Dinwiddie's safe. Mark Gowdy made that pretty clear. But they have to hit the ground running in 2027. I don't think Red Blacks fans are expecting them to win the Grey Cup next year. And I don't think they even need that. I just think they need to see not pathetic football because since this team lost the 2018 Grey Cup, I mean, Ottawa has played mostly pathetic football. They've made the playoffs one time, and in a 9-team league where 6 teams make the playoffs, that's just not good enough.
No, it's not. It really isn't. Anything new with Quebec City? As I know there were some rumblings that were popping up over the last month or two, but have we heard anything new there?
No. I think there's been, and don't get me wrong, people are super excited.
Yes,
about
me included.
This situation, of course. It's something that I think everybody wants to happen. We in the media aren't supposed to cheer for anything, but I won't pretend to be unbiased on this issue. Yeah, I want the CFL to expand.
Same.
And I want to be able to do more coverage. I want to be able to watch more games. I want to be able to see more players, living out their dreams playing in a league like this. And so, I think we all want it to happen. And I think the reporting around it is legitimate. With the exception of, the social media rumors that pop up every now and again of like, oh, the CFL is going to announce it right now and it's very imminent. No, I've been led to believe that's not true. I think that everybody's walking down the path, towards expansion, and everyone's doing it with, optimism. And that is something that Stuart Johnston, the CFL's commissioner, has said since he got hired. Like, is expanding our number one priority? No, but if competent, quality ownership comes to us and is excited and wants to pursue it, then we're going to, we're going to work with them. And it is something that we'll obviously consider because the CFL does want to expand.
Yeah.
But no, are we going to wake up tomorrow to the announcement that the Quebec City Voyageurs are going to hit the field in 2027? No, I would expect at this point, we're not going to get a substantive update until Grey Cup. But you never know. It is the Canadian Football League after all.
Touche. Quality and competent ownership, I think, is super important, and feels like we're in a good spot league-wide with that right now for the most part, and hopefully that continues and builds and the momentum goes forward. What do you, JC, and Dunk have cooking? I know you guys dropped the pod yesterday. Looking forward to listening to that today.
Yeah, well, with the CFL schedule changing, no more Thursday Night Football. Our weekly picks are going to be out on Thursdays now instead of Wednesdays. And, we got that cooking. I've got a one-on-one with Anton Amundrud, quarterback of the Saskatchewan Huskies, that'll be coming out today.
Nice.
And also possibly tomorrow. And then today I've got a one-on-one with, speaking of the Red Blacks, former defensive coordinator William Fields sat down and chatted with me. So lots of good content with some interesting folks in and around the league.
Hey, he's a really nice guy. It'll be interesting to see what he has to say about the situation there, especially after being let go recently. John, this has been awesome. Thank you for the update on everything. Thanks for hopping on today, and enjoy this week in the CFL.
My pleasure, Tom. Anytime.
That's John Hodge from 3 Down Nation. Check out his stuff. Those guys are great. I love listening to them. Gets me in the zone for the week coming up, and they do a good job breaking down everything and anything around the league. And then, yes, they do their picks as well. But those guys are very thorough, and they crush it. Can't recommend 3 Down Nation enough if you're a fan of the league. You might not agree with them all the time, but it's good content, and gets you thinking, and they provide a lot of valuable information. And like I said, they're all over the league. They love it, and they want it to succeed. So good stuff. Dono, thank you for lining that up. I like John. I like all three of those. Those guys are all great.
No worries. I knew he'd be a great guest to have on with you because I know you're obviously a huge CFL guy, and I know obviously if unless you live under a rock and you don't listen to the show, we all know that you are working for the CFL and working for TSN. So it was a natural fit, and John Hodge, he's a guy who I enjoyed having on with Kevin too. So figured why not?
Well
Throw
done,
out a
sir.
little line.
Very good. Very good. Okay, we're going to take a quick breather. When we come back, we'll get to some texts. Keep those coming in, 1-833-401-1440. Spec on the way to kick off hour number 2. Cam and eggs coming up today. You cooking those cam and eggs? Hey, Moon or Tater? Yeah. Yeah, he says leave me alone. Okay, fine. He's spicy today, isn't he?
I don't know what happened to his Cheerios this morning, but I don't think it was pretty.
Oh, the expletive-laden rant he bestowed upon Fenny. I'm kidding. It didn't happen, but he has been pretty spicy.
He's been dropping a lot of them this morning.
Yeah, he has. It's been kind of funny. You watch your mouth, Cam. I'm just kidding. We'll have Cam and eggs later on in the show as well. All right, we'll be back after this here on the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
Must be 18 or older. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. T's and C's apply.
Are you a skilled laborer? All Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience? All Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All Star Construction on Indeed.
Summer weekends in Alberta mean one thing: tournament season.
I brought the folding chairs. I brought the sunscreen.
I brought the umbrella, just in case.
But who brought the snacks to get through a doubleheader?
I got Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky. The ultimate sideline fuel. Whether you're cheering on the kids or watching the pros, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Hi, thanks for calling Uline.
Wait, did the phone even ring?
Nope.
Oh, okay, so you answered before the ring. But now you're going to put me on hold, right?
We don't do that here. We're real people answering the phone, ready to help with your order when you are.
Uline has thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs. Always in stock, ready to ship same day. And backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline. We warehouse for you.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
7:49. Yes, we're gonna rock on this Wednesday. It's the Tom Gazzola Show presented by Bet365. Mark Spector will kick off hour number 2. Dave Schlemko will slide into the co-host chair in hour number 3. We've got Donovan Paulson, Joshua Fenwick, and Cam Tate in studio with you. Of course, we want you to join the conversation. 1-833-401-1440. Great stuff from John Hodge over at 3 Down Nation in that last segment. And we got some text that came in from that. Tim says, good morning, boys. John is a great guest and so knowledgeable. Great CFL guy. This part, I don't know. I know John's in Winnipeg, but Tim says, let's not pretend he's not a Blue Bombers fan. Not cheering for a team, my ass. Tim, full disclosure, I'm supposed to be impartial as well. I still have season seats to the Elks. I've kept them. This is my 20th year as a season seat holder.
You still have season seats despite the fact, well, I would assume your parents go?
And Derek Van Dies from NHL.com has been splitting them with me. So we have 4 seats. He takes 2, I take the other 2. And then I just give them to my parents, my brother, friends, whatever.
Okay.
I want listen, like I bought them. The first thing I did when I turned like 19 or 20, that was like a big purchase outside of my first car, was the Eskimos had won the 2005 Grey Cup. They had won the 03 Grey Cup. And I was like, season seats aren't that expensive. I couldn't afford Oilers season seats. I was working at the Costco Tire Center, okay? But I'm like, I love going to football games. I love football. I want to go to as many games as I can. So I bought season tickets with my buddies. And I've kept them ever since.
Good for you.
Yeah, and I intend on always keeping them. The other thing, too, is I love all football. I love the CFL. I love the NFL. I don't always watch NCAA or U Sport, but I enjoy it. Like, I'm not going to be like, this sucks. This sucks. I'm not a big fan of the UFL and USFL because I know that takes away players from the CFL. But I'll watch it because I like football. So I know what Tim's saying, and to bring it home, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a season seat holder. I might have Eskimos and Elks hats in my home and jerseys. I have a Warren Moon jersey. I have a Warren Moon side picture in my office in my home. So I get what Tim's saying, and I'm guilty of it, of just as much of it as if John is at all. I think John, Dunk, and JC do a great job over at 3 Down Nation, really. And I think they're pretty good at taking the blinders off. Dunk's on the Saskatchewan radio broadcast, which is fantastic. He's great. So
I think if you really wanted to pick apart almost anybody that came on air or went on a TV broadcast, you'd probably be able to pick apart who their favorite team is pretty quickly. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
It's just like, you can't always be impartial. Like even
you got to do your best to be impartial. Always. That's the goal of the gig.
Things are going to come out and they might sound a little biased. It happens to everybody. It's just, I mean, especially for us, we try to be as impartial as possible.
Do you think Troy Aikman cheers a little bit for the Cowboys?
I think he might. I think he might. Despite helping out in my Dolphins GM search, I think he might slightly cheer for the Cowboys.
Oh, Tim falls out. Tim, I'm not calling you out or anything like that, but it's a valid talking point.
Yes.
Tim says, not judging, love it. Everyone's got a team. John is fantastic. Yes. No, Tim, don't worry. I'm not coming at you or anything like that. I'm guilty of it too. I love this. I can't wait to do this game this week. It's nice to not do a game involving the Double E because it's just refreshing. I got the Ticats and Stamps this week. I like doing Stab Peters games. I like going down there. It's just different. Like now when the Elks are playing, I'm just like, well, there's my parents in my seats. There's my brother in my seats. There's DVD crushing a beer. Boy, that would be nice right now. But I got it's neat. I love the league. I want it to succeed. I'll always support it. I'm biased towards it, obviously. But anyway, It's a neat talking point, Tim, and I'm guilty of it too. So I'll put my hand up, be like, guilty. Anyway. Yeah, you know what? It's kind of changing too. If you want to like talk about the Oilers as well, when people go, "Who's your favorite hockey team?" I say, "Well, I'm from here. I grew up cheering for the team." I went into media, and I remember I was Gene Principe's studio runner in the 07-08 season. By the end of that season, I was working for the Score, and I remember Gene, of all people, Northside Edmonton guy. He's the best. He's the best guy. Obviously, everybody loves him. He's beloved for good reason. I remember saying, "Tom, you got to put away your fan cap. Like, you got to take off the fan mode, and you got to put on your like journalistic, impartial broadcaster hat kind of thing." And I'll always remember that because it came from Gene, who's stuck at the hip with the team.
Legend.
And then I ended up working for the team for 8 years. And so when people go, "Well, who's your favorite?" I'm like, I just say, I have a lot of friends over there that I want to see win. I have a lot of friends and family who cheer for the team, and I want them to be happy. Put it together. Now, if they lose and go 80, I tell people, like, if they go 0-82, we got a job to do. We got to talk about it. And I'm not going to lose as much sleep as I would over it than I did when I was 17 years old. It's different, right? It changes over time. Anyway, it's an interesting talking point, so I'm guilty of it.
Hey, I'm definitely guilty of it. You can hear me on pre and post game, and there's definitely going to be instances where the bias does slip out, but you got to try and contain it and be professional with it, right? Like it's just how it works. It's how the biz works, and some people don't like it, some people do like it, and some people it's also interesting because we got a text from Blake. I'm a Cowboys fan. Troy Aikman is hard on the Cowboys more than other teams. That's also bias. Right?
And is it because of his expectation and what he accomplished with them?
It comes out in different ways. Bias can be you're overly hard on someone because of your expectations and what you just outlined, where this is what I experienced with the Cowboys. It should be this way.
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada. And then you can be way too soft on a team. There's going to be different biases and different stances from different guys, but yeah, like if he's harder on the Cowboys than others, which there is moments where he's harder on the Cowboys than others, that is still bias. It's just a different form of bias.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting, and it has changed over time. Like I remember when I got into it, it's like obviously there's etiquette too.
Yeah.
In when you're working, covering something, like you're not supposed to cheer. You're not supposed to. If you're a member of the media, you're not supposed to wear team gear of that. Like, for example, when I was with Oilers TV, we went and had Oilers TV polos made, right?
Yeah.
And our directors and stuff were like, "Why don't you just wear like a team issued Oilers golf shirt or jacket?" And I'm like, I get it. It's cost efficient too. But it's at the time, I'm like, that's not great etiquette. But that's when digital media teams for respective clubs were still in its infancy. So we would have Oilers TV gear. The Pens had Pens TV gear. The Blackhawks had Blackhawks TV gear. It was just kind of like, hey, we're with them, but we're kind of, we're our thing, just out of respect. It's changed. It's definitely changed. It's an interesting talking point, like I said. How can you not be a fan of some teams, though?
Why would you get into I think the reality of this business is, why would you get into it if you weren't a fan of a team?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep, that's true. Very true. Robert sums it up nicely because we got to step out for a break. I'll end it with Robert. It's got some texts that have come in. Appreciate that, guys. Robert says, all sports media personalities have bias, but their job is to be professional and present as neutral. Nailed it. Well said, Robert. Appreciate that text. We're going to take a quick breather, but before we do that, we're going to get to the Sports 1440 update brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. Your one-stop shop for all things welding. AWSwelding.ca. Here's Dono.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
one key NFL season-ending injury from yesterday. Calvin Austin, he is the new Giants wide receiver, done for the year with a torn ACL. MLB action from yesterday. The Jays, they fell 5-3 to the Kansas City Royals. Other games around the majors from last night. Red Sox over the Marlins 7-3. Tigers holding on against the Rays 4-1. Astros over Yankees 9-7. White Sox crushing the Rangers with 11 runs. The Orioles destroying the Cardinals 13-1. Pirates, they just barely edge out the Padres 1-0. And the Mariners, it's 4-1. Cal Raleigh might be heating up, folks. Coming up next, it is Sportsnet's Mark Spector. I'm Donovan Paulson. That's your Sports 1440 update.
The Tom Gazzola Show. Oiler insider and Jersey aficionado. Edmonton's sports leader. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
Hour number 2 on a Wednesday. Should be a gorgeous day in the Big E. Glad you're with us here on the Tom Gazzola Show. Presented by Bet365. If gambling is affecting your mental health or Wellbeing 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Tom Gazzola, Donovan Paulson, Josh Fenwick, and Cam Tate in studio. Mark Spector on the mark. He is with us via video. And, of course, on the mark brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. For the remainder of August, proceeds from every vehicle sold will go towards the Summerlin wildfire victims. Get a great vehicle and support a great cause only at northgategm.com. Nicely done by Mike and the crew out there. Hey, Spec, good morning. How are you, sir?
This is kind of the time of year we used to go into Penticton to, or think about going into Penticton, speaking of Summerland.
Yeah.
To cover rookie camps, which rookie tournaments. Are there any rookie tournaments anymore? Do they even exist?
I think
Toronto and Ottawa are still doing one.
Yeah, there's the Traverse City that was happening for a while. And then the Ducks, I think, would host one at their facility for the Pacific teams that are in the States. It was really a well-done event, but I think with Penticton joining the WHL, that kind of killed it, didn't it?
I don't know. Like, I know that it was the Canucks kind of ran the event.
Yes.
And my understanding originally was they just lost interest in doing it, putting it all on. It was great for the town of Penticton. You know, Mike's supporting people in Summerland out there, and that area made a lot of how would I say, like, in September when all the families went home and back to school, the whole hockey world would roll in there for better part of a week and fill up the hotels and the rinks, and everybody got to see the Canucks rookies because they're Canuck fans there. And it was a pretty good event, and Penticton did a great job with it. The Canucks did a good job, and then it just kind of disappeared. I miss it a little bit. It was fun to see everybody's, newly drafted players play against each other.
I have good memories of it, fond of it, bittersweet ones as well, because you're right about the Canucks kind of not wanting to run it and be in charge and heading things up. I do remember my last couple of years at Oilers TV, a lot of the responsibility, at least on like the broad, how we would stream those games, that fell on us at Oilers TV more so. And the Flames really did a lot. Their broadcast crew and digital team did a lot. And then Winnipeg stepped up as well to support the Canucks. And yeah, there was kind of a lukewarm feeling from the Vancouver side of things. But it was pretty neat. It was cool to see. I have a memory. I remember Johnny Gaudreau when he played in that tournament.
Okay.
And there was that Tim Hortons. We would always end up at the Sandman because the nice hotel, the Lakeside, would always be full with the teams. And so we'd always end up at the Sandman. And I went to the Tim Hortons, and Johnny Gaudreau was just sitting there by himself having a breakfast sandwich and a coffee. And nobody even knew who he was, Spec. And he's wearing like a suit and like a Flames like track jacket. And it was I just looked at him like, I'm not going to go talk to him or anything.
Aren't you Johnny Gaudreau?
Yeah. There's a superstar in the making.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. There you had
That's
Gladys and Ethel having their coffee and bitching and complaining about gas
The government.
prices in the next table. Yeah, the government sucks. Yes. But future superstar right there, just chomping away on a breakfast sandwich and a coffee, which I always find moments like that fascinating. And then we would do those broadcasts, and those were high stress because there was a lot of work involved. So it was cool. And at the same time, at Oilers TV, we were super busy. But yeah, you're right. We should have been going there very soon. And unfortunately, we're not. But
I always thought it was just a great way to enter back into the hockey world every fall. There'd be a lot of scouts there, and all the the GMs of the competing teams would be there. The head coaches would drop in.
Yeah.
It was a great, and everyone's loose, and everyone has time to talk because all we're doing is watching a bunch of rookies play.
Yep.
So as a reporter, I remember getting some really great copy out of there, not just on the kids playing, but just talking to any GM that was there had time for you. And, I remember I watched a period of hockey with our foot up on the rail and at the top of the bowl with Daryl Sutter. and we just sat and talked. And I guess it was an interview. We were watching a period of hockey, and came away with just a killer column that day. Because everyone was, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I wish they'd have it back, but everything's changed now. So we go to 84 game season, but we go to a 4 game preseason, not 8, 4. So I think we'll all take that trade. And the vets can only play in 2 of those games, correct?
That sounds right to me.
Yes,
I haven't gone through it with a fine tooth comb, to be honest.
The big boys can only, the guys with over X amount of NHL games played can only play 2. The Connor McDavid can only play 2 preseason games. He used to always say, I like 4 or 5.
Sure.
Now he gets 2. That's all he gets.
You know what? Going out there for like 14 minutes, just getting your legs under you in a preseason game, no big deal. And then get those last 2 that are usually the big ones where you want to tune up for the regular season. I totally get that mentality, but I suppose it is maybe a effect of this new CBA and the schedule and all of that. But the way you laid out what is training camp and preseason, it's almost like a formality spec, really. Like, do we think there are going to be a lot of true camp battles throughout the league like there used to be?
Yeah, well, I did notice there was 2 PTOs signed, I guess last night or yesterday or something, in the league. So I think, what was it? Alex Nylander to Calgary and Cal Peterson to Washington, the goalie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, listen, I think I would applaud the NHL for most of this. Like, here's the realities. Teams, everybody's with a salary cap, you sign all your guys, you pick your team by the end of July, you've picked your team. So sure, there's always a battle or 2 for a job, but really, we all know who's on the team. So why have an elongated training camp, like an act as if there's a big challenge for who's going to make it? We know who's going to make it, right? Players now are in fantastic shape. Why are we living in the past where we needed 8 preseason games for guys to get in shape, a big long camp? In the old days, they'd come to camp to get in shape. Those days are 40 years behind us now. So why act like it? So, I mean, let's have a short camp and a short preseason and start playing hockey. There's really no need anymore. There's no use for a training camp. Nothing you can't figure out in real games, right?
That's so true. Well, take, for example, the Oilers this training camp. 3 days into camp, they have their first preseason game. So it's going to be quick. It's going to come at us fast. And those that are getting the itch for hockey, you're going to get a full dose of it in a couple of weeks. It's On the Mark with Mark Spector. I see you're at the Sky Dome, a.k.a. Rogers Center. That's nice. Appreciate you joining us from there. How about those Jays, Spec? They blow it yesterday. They're getting smoked by the Royals, and then they try to get the rally going in the 9th, and whoopsies, you get a little too aggressive with Nathan Lucas there. Now they're 3 games back. It's a roller coaster ride for Jays fans. So tough go. I know you're a Cubs fan, but you also keep tabs on the Jays.
Oh yeah, for sure. I watched a whole bunch of the game yesterday. It's funny. It's no different than when you're coming down the stretch in the NHL or anywhere. It seems like you win a game and all you do is keep pace. But when you lose a game, it's disastrous. You fall back a game, right? That's where they put themselves. They're in that spot, and we talked the other day on the show, like, okay, you got a bunch of games against teams that are 500 and below. Well, you got to win those games. You got to take advantage. You got to flex. If you're better than those teams, you better show it. And if you show it, you play 625, 650 baseball, you can make the playoffs. But there you go. They open this big, long stretch, I'm using air quotes, of games against teams that aren't as good as them, and they get smoked last night by the Royals. So, those games aren't going to win themselves, Tommy. You got to go out and win them.
Exactly. And that series against, Cleveland's won 6 in a row, and then the Jays get the Guardians starting on September 1st. That could be pivotal, or if they keep losing, Spec, all for naught, which is interesting. Okay, one more thing on baseball. Have you caught any of the Little League World Series? You see how our Canadian kids are doing?
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it. They beat Panama, and then they beat Korea, right? South Korea?
Yeah, now they get a date with Japan, but who knows? Maybe they can ride the wave.
For sure. Like, that's a fun event. It's one of the, I'm sure it's not as pure as it looks. There's probably some You know, like the Americans are. Here's what I never can figure out. So Canada is always in the international division.
Yep.
So they get all these teams from all over the world, which is really cool. But then there's a whole division of American teams, right?
Yep.
And they all play each other. Little league, you know, east, west, south, north, whatever. Is Japan way better than those teams, or is there a bunch of are all those teams better? Like doesn't they got to guarantee an American team makes the final is what we're doing here, right? And are they getting a easy ride to the final? Is it a harder ride? Like I don't even know, man. Do we know anything about that?
That I don't know. I always just I like watching to see these kids A, hit home runs, B, and how they react now and celebrate, which is crazy because they look like little professionals, which is amazing. And then I just find it very fascinating. I'm also curious too. DVD always makes the joke that most of these kids are actually like 15 and they just fake their birth certificates.
It's best
like,
for sure.
He's like,
That
the
could be.
Dominicans are cheating. He
That
always
could
says
be.
that. I'm like, DVD, you just say that because you're Chilean. Like, relax. So,
Yeah, because that's the way they do it in your country.
evidently. Okay. One other thing. I was gonna bring up. We had Megan Angley on yesterday. We're talking about Cale Makar's extension and Quinn
Yes.
Hughes, and trying to figure out are we talking about $20 million players here when these guys sign their extensions, or not quite?
Yeah. I mean, it's still the most you can earn is 20% of the cap, and the cap's over 100 million, right?
Yep.
So yes, I think it's probably, I think we'll look back like future scholars will look back on Connor McDavid signing a 2-year deal with no raise at 12 and a half and go, holy cow, whoever did that, like that. And that just kicks in this year. Connor McDavid should be making 19 million right now, this minute,
Yep.
and it's amazing that he signed that contract. Like it's an amazing act of selflessness and something we don't see in professional sports. No one gives up the bag in professional sports, right? Like they just don't. No one says, "Oh, that's enough money. I don't need more." But McDavid did. And you can slice it up however you want. Find me another example of a guy that did this. It's completely amazing. And now, you get guys like Cutter Gauthier, right, who've accomplished relatively nothing in the sport, and he's picking and choosing and turning down $16 million, and like that he's hanging on for the bag whether he deserves it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm sure someone's going to get, a guy like Makar, if he wants it. What are you going to do? You're not going to sign Cale Makar if you're Denver? You got to sign Cale Makar. So if that's what he demands, that's what you're giving him, aren't you?
I would think so, and I feel like that's where it's going. If we're in a world now where Celebrini and a Carlson are making 18 and a half, I would think that established superstars, champions like a Cale Makar, and then a superstar like a Quinn Hughes probably do get a little bit more, and that is $20 million.
So, and can you, as long as the cap goes up, you can still build a team. Like it's really, what do you have left to build a team with? So now you got a great player and you're working with an $80 million cap, or 82.3 or whatever the thing's at right now. And I guess, you know what? You should be able to surround that $20 million player. There's enough cap space now. You should be able to surround your Cale Makar, or your McDavid or whoever, with enough team to win with, don't you think?
I do think so. And I'm wondering too, Spec, do you think Hughes stays in mini though? Because that's the interesting one.
Yeah, I don't know. We were talking with Connor last night in the show. I don't know if he's going to stay in mini, but I know this. I've known Billy Guerin for a long time, and there will be no question mark with the Minnesota Wild GM and the player. Like, Billy will sit down and look him in the eye and say, "What are we doing here? Like, are you in or are you not in? Here's what we got for you. But this bit about, well, I don't know if I want to play here, or maybe I do, but maybe I don't. No. You can't have your best player be like that. You can't have a player that everyone else in the room looks up to, and when they look up, they see a guy that's got 1 foot out of town. You can't have that. So Guerin's going to figure it out, and if Quinn Hughes wants to be there, he's going to get huge money. or he'll go somewhere else and get huge money. But they won't be hanging around in Mini waiting for Quinn Hughes' approval here. I could guarantee you that.
I respect the hell out of Bill Guerin's approach and the way he does it, and that's well said. Spec, awesome as always, my friend. Catch up with you tomorrow, okay?
All right, sounds good, Tommy.
There you go. There's Mark Spector with On the Mark, brought to you by and powered by Northgate. This truck's for you. We're going to take a quick breather. When we come back, Blair Kirkhoff from the Kansas City Star to talk about the Chiefs will join us right here on the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365.
A craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Thinking about switching vehicles? Think Subaru. The Subaru Crosstrek was named the 2026 Auto Trader Best Subcompact SUV. And once you drive it, you'll understand why. With impressive fuel efficiency, legendary Subaru symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, and generous ground clearance, the Crosstrek is ready for your Monday commute and your Saturday adventure. This month, take advantage of loyalty rates as low as 0.49%. So, before you decide your next SUV, come experience the Crosstrek for yourself. Visit your local Subaru dealership today. Welcome to Uncommon.
Legendary is here with BetMGM Casino. Download to check out over 4,000 casino games, including exclusive slots like Survivor and hundreds of live dealer games. Unlock Vegas Magic and sign up for the BetMGM app. See BetMGM.com for terms. 18 plus, Alberta only. Please play responsibly, subject to eligibility requirements. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with the Alberta iGaming Corporation. Standard message and data rates may apply.
Missioner Island Auctioneering's Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Equipment Auction is this Friday at 9 a.m. featuring articulated dump trucks, backhoes, dozer, excavators, forklifts, graders, loaders, man lifts, packers, skid steers, telehandlers, turf mowers, plus commercial trailers. Info at maauctions.com.
Caesars is Alberta's anytime, anywhere sportsbook. Stay in the action with your favorite teams and players. Whether you're camping, kayaking, or catching a show this summer, bet wherever you are, whenever you want. Plus, Caesars Sportsbook offers fast payouts and flex parlays, a new way to keep your bet alive even if a pick misses. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today.
Must be 18 or older and physically present in Alberta to gamble. Must be 21 or older to use Caesars Sportsbook. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. Please play responsibly.
For all your welding supplies, think AWS Welding. Located in Nisku, their readily stocked storefront carries a wide variety of welding glasses, cylinder rentals, plus welding rod, wire, and consumables. Same-day delivery is always available. And if they don't have it, AWS Welding will find it for you fast. Visit their online store today at awswelding.ca or give them a call or text at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. They make it happen.
Missioner Island Auctioneering's next Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Heavy Truck Auction is this Thursday at 9 a.m. featuring tri-axle, tandem, single-axle trucks including cab and chassis, decks, diggers, dumps, pickers, tractors, vacs, and service trucks. Info at maauctions.com.
The Tom Gazzola Show. 60% talent, 40% Swedish hair cream. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
$8:23 on a lovely morning. Good morning. Hope you're doing good out there. If you're on your way to work, hope we can entertain you for a little bit and keep your mind preoccupied rather than thinking about the day ahead at work. Unless you love your job and you're very excited about what lies ahead for you today. But if you're lamenting going to work, then maybe we can ease some of that pain. I at least hope so. We're going to talk the Kansas City Chiefs shortly with Blair Kirchhoff from the Kansas City Star when he's ready to rock. In the meantime, we have a bunch of texts that I like that have been sent in and I'd like to read. Keep those coming in, 1-833-401-1440. Going back to like turning down money to stay with the team or go to a different team and not take the full bag. We're talking about that with Spec in On the Mark. TKO says, hey, Tom, Lionel Messi turned down a $1.4 billion contract from Al Hilal of the Saudi Pro League a few years ago before he went to Inter Miami. That's a lot of money. And I know he's made a lot of money. And he's probably making a ton right now with Inter Miami. And I know it's the twilight of his career. But it's interesting. I don't follow the Saudi Pro League. I do recollect seeing some highlights from it. And the quality of play didn't seem great. The money must be nice. I can't remember who it was that went over there, but was it Ronaldo that went and played there? Or it was Ronaldo. I saw this one highlight, and he basically walked in with the ball from half uncontested and just booted a goal in. And I'm like, nobody challenged him. What is this league? So I kind of don't blame Messi for not going there and turning down $1.4 billion. But I get it. It's not always about the biggest bag of money you can get, but I'm sure Messi's doing just fine and will make a large chunk of $1.4 billion with Inter and sponsorships and all that stuff. Plus, on top of everything he's already made. Are we good to go, Donald?
Almost. He
okay.
apparently didn't get the first email,
Oh,
so he
shoot.
is just logging in now. So now we're good to go.
Okay, all good. And then I'll end it with this another example. Somebody brought up Sidney Crosby taking less money to sacrifice his AAV so that the team can utilize it elsewhere. And then Chris S says Jalen Brunson did it with the Knicks, and then they won a title, of course, in the spring. Good points by all. Keep those texts coming in. 1-833-401-1440. All right, let's talk a little bit about the NFL. Let's go to Kansas City with Blair Kirchhoff from the Kansas City Star. Blair, good morning. Thanks for hopping on today, man. Really appreciate it. Trade yesterday for the Chiefs, or the other day, to bolster their offensive line. 2028 7th-round pick for guard Josh Azudo. What does this mean about the Chiefs O-line? What does it tell you about how things are looking in Kansas City when it comes to making sure that Patrick Mahomes is safe?
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. A depth building exercise for the Chiefs last night in this trade with the New York Giants. Chiefs gave up a 2028 7th rounder, I think. So the cost wasn't terribly prohibitive. The Chiefs have they pretty sure they know what their offensive line is going into the season, the 5 across, but 2 of them have been out, haven't played in the preseason because of injury. That's left tackle Josh Simmons and right guard Trey Smith. So, and they both should be ready for the regular season opener, which is still more than 2 weeks away. And the Chiefs are the last team to play on the first week on a Monday Night Football game with the Denver Broncos. So everybody should be ready by then. But it's just a measure to add some depth because after the starting lineup, it's pretty thin on the offensive line for the Chiefs.
Okay, obviously protecting Patrick Mahomes is going to be important. How is he moving? I know after the ACL tear, that's always a concern. I know last year was a tough year for Kansas City, but what have you noticed from him? Is he looking good, all things considered?
He is. I'm not sure what the national narrative is now about Mahomes, but those of us that go to practice and we see him on a regular basis are pretty convinced that, I'm not going to say all systems are go and everything's back to normal, but I'm pretty sure he's going to play in the opener. He won't. I doubt he'll see action on Friday night, which is the Chiefs' final preseason game against the Seahawks. And that means he will not have played in the preseason for the first time in his career. But I think he is. I think he's ready to go, and we've seen him all throughout training camp. And now the week later, since they've been back from, they go off to training camp to a little college town about 50 miles north of Kansas City. Now they're back at the Arrowhead Stadium practice facility, and he's looked good. He moves well. I think he is your week one starter. In fact, I'd say 99% sure he'd be your week one starter. There can be a setback. I mean, heck, nothing's 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure we're going to see Patrick Mahomes running out with the starters on week one.
Yeah. A knee injury like that, obviously significant, but I think he's young enough that he should be able to recover well enough and to be able to at least be some semblance of the Mahomes that we know and have gotten to know over the last number of years. We've got Blair Kirchhoff with us from the Kansas City Star, talking about those Chiefs and looking to bounce back from a 6-11 season. How would you describe last year, Blair? Because, I mean, we're so used to the Chiefs just being dominant and owning everybody. And last year was obviously a drop-off. But when you look back and reflect on it, how would you describe last season?
I think last year ended up being the year that the sort of the NFL rules for parity caught up with them. You know, the NFL's created to give everybody a chance, right? And the way the scheduling matrix works, the way the draft works, everything is created to create a competitive balance in the NFL, salary cap, all that. And the Chiefs defied that for so long. And they did it with good drafts, smart contracts, and extending the right people and letting others walk. And I think 2025 was the year it all kind of caught up to them, especially when it comes to depth, which is acquired largely in the draft. And, picking 30, 31, 32 for so long, I think finally, and it's not just in the first round, you're picking at the back end of subsequent rounds as well. And that's, I think we began to see that take an effect last year. And one kind of subtle way to notice this is, a lot of the guys that get drafted in the, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th rounds, you end up putting them on special teams, or that's how they begin their NFL careers, on special teams. And the Chiefs, for so long, had some of the best NFL special teams. Their kicker, Harrison Butker, is still one of the best in the NFL, but their coverage teams, their return teams, always near the top. And last couple of years, it hasn't been that way. They've been in the bottom half of the league. So, you think about where those players come from and, how a team is constructed. And I think that's, Kansas City Chiefs starters for the most part were, could play with anybody. It's when you get past that level that it really started to take a toll on the Chiefs.
That's a really good point, actually. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to ask you, where are the position battles right now? Where's the focus when it comes to the Chiefs getting into the late stages of camp right now?
Yeah, so one area that they definitely had to rebuild was the cornerback room. And they lost Trent McDuffie, who is a terrific player for them, a Pro Bowl player. Lost him to the LA Rams, and another starter, Jalen Watson, also signed with the Rams.
Right.
The Rams are going all in, again, and so Chiefs. And they also lost starting safety Brian Cook to the Cincinnati Bengals. So that's basically three of the 5 starters in the secondary had to be replaced. The Chiefs, with their highest draft pick since 2013, when they drafted overall number 1, that was Andy Reid's first year. They used for Mansour Delane, the cornerback out of LSU. They actually had the number 9 pick, traded with the Cleveland Browns to move up to number 6 to get Mansour Delane, the really speedy and athletic cornerback for LSU, and started his career at Virginia Tech. And they also acquired in the offseason L'Jarius Sneed. He's a cornerback who was with the Chiefs from 2020 to 2023, won a couple Super Bowl rings with Kansas City, They traded him to the Tennessee Titans 2 years ago. They brought him back this year. So those are a couple of positions to keep an eye on, the cornerback. The other one is offensive line. There's a player who really emerged in the OTAs and training camp. His name is Khalil Benson. He's a tackle and has played some guard. He was on Indiana's undefeated national championship team this past year. Not only did he not get drafted, he didn't get called by a team as a preferred free agent, rookie free agent. He came to the Chiefs and made the team on a tryout camp. He is fighting to become the right tackle along with Jalen Moore. So those are the real position battles. Everything else is pretty much set. Position to keep your eye on is wide receiver. That hasn't been a good position or a productive position for the Chiefs in a couple of years. So Rashee Rice is back, Xavier Worthy, players like that. Those guys need to step up and really improve that position group.
Blair, how do you stack up the AFC West this season? What do you foresee?
Yeah, look, you tip your hat to the Denver Broncos. That was a heck of a year last season. If Bo Nix doesn't get hurt, I think they beat the Patriots and get to the Super Bowl. I think they're going to be good again this year. 14 win good, I think, is a little too much to ask. I think there's a little bit of a backslide with teams like that. I'd say the Patriots as well would be a team to look at to backslide a little bit. But I think it's going to come down to Chiefs and Broncos with the Chargers as a possible playoff team as well. For so long when the Chiefs dominated the division, they had the big advantage at coach and quarterback. They don't have that if there's still an advantage there, it's certainly not what it used to be with Sean Payton and Bo Nix in Denver and Harbaugh and Herbert with the LA Chargers. So that really has closed the gap in the West, and it's a more competitive division now than at any time since the Chiefs won it 10 years in a row until last year.
Right. I have to ask you this because I am a bit of a stadium geek. I'm fascinated by them, and I know the Chiefs have a new stadium on the way. How has that gone over? I know it's domed. I really appreciate Arrowhead and what they've done with it. I haven't been there, but it looks like it would be a great place to watch a football game. I know the ballpark is right next door, and we're watching the saga in Chicago. I know Tennessee's getting a new stadium. We're in this interesting era of stadium upgrades and relocation for these teams. What's the situation with the Chiefs in this dome stadium? Has it been welcomed with open arms? And can you give us some insight into that?
Yeah, nothing's ever easy. The Chiefs, the reason that the Chiefs are planning to build a new stadium, and the neighboring Kansas City Royals, the baseball team that as you mentioned, share the space in the parking lot, in Kansas City, their lease is up. The sports complex lease is up after the 2030 season. So by 2031, they either had to sign a new lease to stay where they were or build new. And those stadiums the Arrowhead opened in 1972 and the baseball stadium in 1973. So, we're looking at 50 years plus for both of those. And infrastructure was not in great shape. And there was where the stadiums are located now, there was no opportunity to develop around there commercially, have an entertainment district, which is all the rage, right? And not just in football, baseball, but hockey and basketball arenas as well in downtown areas. So the Chiefs decided to, in a rather emotional decision, move the team. They're going to move the team from Kansas City, Missouri to Kansas City, Kansas. They're right now about 8 or 9 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. They'll be about 15 miles west of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. And it is an emotional issue. To cross a state line is no small thing, and a lot of emotions from the fans who are based in Missouri. Of course, the people in Kansas are ecstatic. I think they'll be less ecstatic when their tax bills arrive to help pay for the stadium. But it's going to be an incredible stadium, and with it, because it's going to be covered, you're looking at winter concerts, potential Super Bowl, Final Fours, maybe college football bowl games, that sort of thing. The types of things that Arrowhead couldn't have and money making opportunities for the Hunt family, the owners of the Chiefs, and good entertainment options for Kansas City. So that's the 2031 will be the first year of the Chiefs in their new stadium. It'll be as good as any of the ones. Vegas, SoFi in LA, the new stadium in Buffalo, Cleveland's on going to build one. Tennessee, you mentioned. All of them are being built for the most part. This doesn't include Buffalo, but the rest of them are being built with entertainment districts in mind, and that's where owners make their big money now.
Yeah, it's like a real estate game. We had it here with the Oilers in Edmonton and the Ice District and all of that. But it's going to be interesting to see it. I find it fascinating. And, I mean, like Arrowhead, it's not – they've upgraded it, right? But I remember going to Oakland Coliseum and being like, oh, my God, is this 1968 all over? Is this what it was like? It was awful, but I'm assuming they've kept a good job maintaining it to this point.
Yeah, they have. It's still a great look. They had 6 World Cup soccer games there this summer, so it's still a fantastic stadium. I don't know if it people Chiefs fans anyway they want to put it in the category of Lambeau or Old Soldier is iconic. I wouldn't go that far, but there's some it's been around long enough to pass through generations of fans have passed their tickets to the next generation, that sort of thing. And it's the only stadium so many people know who live here that have gone to games. And I really would. I wouldn't, unlike you, I wouldn't call myself a stadium geek, but I've appreciated visiting other arenas and ballparks and stadiums. You should see it. I mean, you should before it is torn down or whatever happens to it. Before the Chiefs get out of there, I think fans of the stadium should make a trip and see what Arrowhead's all about. It's a cool place.
Yeah, I think that's something I'd like to do. I have had the good fortune of being in Kansas City, but not to see a Chiefs game. I'd like to do that, and that's a good idea. Hey, Blair, thanks for the time today. Thanks for the update on the Chiefs, and enjoy the season. Maybe we're catching up with you a little bit later on down the road.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me on.
There you go. There's Blair Kirchhoff from the Kansas City Star talking Chiefs. Should be an interesting year for them. Last year, obviously, a dip, but like Blair was talking about, maybe all that success is catching up with them. The parity in the NFL, teams making the most of it, and the Chiefs have to regroup a little bit, and we'll see if the ACL of Patrick Mahomes holds up too. That's going to be Travis Kelce came into camp. People said he was looking a little thicker.
He looked like he'd put on a little extra poundage, particularly in the stomach area.
Was he eating pasta in Sicily?
He might have eaten a lot of Taylor Swift's pasta. I have no idea. However, I do know it didn't look like he was in the best shape of his career, and I think that would be a bit of an understatement. But I do think that this Chiefs team, there's aspects where they're substantially better. The run game, Kenneth Walker should make a huge difference. But after Kenneth Walker, like, I don't know. I'm not sold on the Chiefs this year. I'm a little less bullish than I would say Blair was.
I was wondering this. Like, I use the term life cycle. I used it with Hodge earlier, talking about the Bombers and where they are in their team life cycle, if you will. Is this the downslope for the Chiefs officially? I mean, last year obviously was a tough season. But a lot of factors went into that might be able to be corrected this year.
Lots of factors went into that, but you also trade Trent McDuffie to the Rams, who's, a fantastic, probably top 5 corner in the game. And if you don't have him in the top 5, he's somewhere in the, 6, 7, 8 range. And then, like, you just, I don't know, you do add Ken Walker's, who's obviously Super Bowl MVP, good running back, but I'm not sold, and I think you're seeing this team. The key parts in Mahomes, like, he's still good, but he hasn't had a great year in about 4 years, going back to 2022.
Yeah, a good point, actually.
And then you look at Travis Kelce, he's just continuing to get old. Still a good player, but he's still getting old, and he's getting worse and worse, and you can see it every year. Then you look at Chris Jones, good player, but at what point does he get aged out?
Well, I was going to say, how old is he now?
God, is he 30? He might be older than I think he is right now. Obviously, he's in his 30s, but I was going to say 33, but I could be wrong on that.
That's getting up there in football years.
32.
Thank you,
32.
Kenny.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He, like, at what point does he age out? So there's a lot of guys on this roster who, like, there's pretty big question marks on, are they going to be the same guy? I don't know.
Well,
That's how I view this team. They're almost aged out, and I think it's just a matter of time.
How do they compete with the Chargers and the Broncos this year?
I think the Broncos are the clear better team.
Yeah.
I think they are the clear better team. And I think they're better in almost every aspect. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is better than Bo Nix, but they're better in most aspects. And then I look at the Chargers and the Chiefs, and I go, if I was to take one roster, which roster on paper, ignoring the championship pedigree, which roster on paper would I take right now? I'd take the Chargers roster.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Connor Halley would be very happy to hear that. Bench texting and says, didn't Chris Jones just hold up for money 2 years ago? Can't fall off that quick, Kenny.
Well, he's 32.
C, example A, Milan Lucic, different sport, I know, but yes. It can happen.
It can happen.
Does happen.
It does happen in sports, right?
Yeah.
Guys get into their mid-30s, and in the NFL, it's a little different. Sometimes it can come off super, super quick. I didn't say he's a bad player. I'm just saying he's still a good player.
It's
just when will he fall off? That's the question. I don't know. Nobody knows, right?
Maybe there's still some
Maybe
jam
it's this
left
year.
in this
Maybe
team.
it's next year. Who knows?
Maybe. We shall see. Interesting. Very interesting. Great stuff from Blair Kirchhoff. Good guest there. And we've got to step up for another. Holy smokes, time is flying. We've got to get to Cam and eggs. He's very excited about it. He was chirping Fenny earlier. He was chirping me. He was giving it to Dono, so he's in a spicy mood. Curious to see what he has in store in Cam and eggs. Coming up next, right here on The Gazzola Show.
Recently, our company softball team lost a big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout for Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
Must be 18 or older. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. T's and C's apply.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Hot coffee, hotter takes, and the sports stories that matter. Check out Tom Gazzola weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440. Be part of the conversation. 833-401-1440.
Mr. Rooter cries like a little tiny baby child.
Hey, Mr. Rooter, you've got a package from Mrs. Rooter.
Aw, the card says, "Thank you for our unbreakable bond. You're the pro press fitting to my copper pipe."
Ooh, what's in the package, Mr. Rooter?
Let's see. It's a Plumbus 2000 spud wrench. She knew I'd never buy one for myself.
Just like tears. It's flowing or it's free with Mr. Rooter.
I love that woman.
Ford employee pricing is on now, and you pay what we pay on virtually our entire lineup of Ford vehicles. Visit your Alberta Ford store today.
I want to know who my representing in here tonight.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
$8.48. It's the Tom Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. Good morning. Hope you're having a lovely Wednesday. Weather looks great. Hopefully the rest of the week stays great. And finally, I'm just going to whisper it. No rain. Hopefully it stays that way. Tom Gazzola, Donovan Paulson, Josh Fenwick, and Cam Tate in studio with you. Dave Schlemko will be sliding in about 10 minutes or so to co-host the rest of the show. Looking forward to catching up with Schlemmer. Also looking forward to reading some texts. Hit us up, 1-833-401-1440. Cam Tate's been working on Cam and Eggs. He was laughing. He was spicy. He was ribbing all of us. And I think we've got Cam and Eggs ready to go. Do we, Dono? Yeah? Do you
Yes,
think,
we do. Yes, we do.
did he take shots at us in this one?
I think he's going to call Fenny
name?
whatever he called him,
Is that
Poopsie earlier.
Is that an HR violation of some sort?
I don't think so.
Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Okay, here we go.
You know, there is nothing quite like the electric roar of the crowd on game day. We cheer for the big hits and the bone-crushing tackles. But every single one of those collisions carries a receipt. A tough new study out of the U.S. looked at former NFL players who passed away between 2008 and 2021. The sobering finding? At least 1 in 4 showed evidence of CTE, the degenerative brain disease linked to repetitive head trauma. New helmet tech helps, sure, but it's a powerful wake-up call for all of us who love the game. The highlight reel is exciting, but protecting the human being under the helmet matters a whole lot more. Because long after the stadium lights go dark, life is the only game that truly counts. Respected Canadian doctor Robert Tater was on the CBC last night.
Also, Canadian hockey and even volleyball can cause multiple concussions.
833-401-1440. And here's what I want to know. If somebody needs to rehab a leg or a shoulder or an arm, I think there are two fundamental core things to help people through rehab: your heart and your head. Are we doing enough to protect our heads? 833-401-1440. Cam and Eggs. The Tom Gazzola Show continues. Sports 1440.
Okay, he totally threw us a curveball. I thought he was going to be yucking it up. That was very serious. That was like very serious stuff. Talk about CTE and concussions, and he's smiling at me.
Shocking, considering the tone that he walked into this room. Not walked in. That he came into this room with.
He played us.
He did. He took us out back and just totally gave us the old curveball. But that was a good one, Tater.
Yeah.
But is it weird that I'm almost disappointed he didn't just sewer us now?
A little bit. He talked a very serious subject: head injuries and traumas and the CTE thing. The helmet technology, Tater, good point. I know that now you're seeing helmets in hockey as well as football that don't make the cushioning just softer, but they make the shell softer as well, where it absorbs the energy from impact to relieve the stress the head takes on a hit. You see it in some hockey helmets. I don't know if it's gotten into minor hockey helmets or retail hockey helmets, but the ones that have like the spider web custom made interior lining that uses the same type of mentality as absorbing the shock. You see guys wearing the Guardian caps in football. But I'll tell you what, when a guy's running at you at, 25 miles an hour, head on, and lowers his head and smokes you in the chin, doesn't matter if the shell of your helmet absorbs impact. That's all for naught. So, yeah, it's crazy. It's something that's been brought to light. There's There's been movies made about it, documentaries made about it, continues to be studied. You see guys that and former athletes that pass away that donate their brains to science to be studied. And hopefully we're learning more about it because I remember way back when, boys, a guy I played with had to quit hockey at 12 because he had already had like 2 major concussions. And they said to him, like, if you keep playing, your next one, and you could be severely hurt and disabled for the rest of your life. So, yeah, the head and brain trauma is very important stuff. That was heavy, Tater. Very heavy. You just totally threw us for a curveball. Good topic, though. What? What are you pointing at? Email? What do you need? You need your head. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's a very good point. Anything else on that, boys? That was very heavy, I thought.
No, he kind of got. Well, he's right.
He is. I mean,
you do need your head, and you need to have a little bit of something left, right? When you inevitably finish your sports career, however short it is, you need something left upstairs. Otherwise, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. So that's a good one for him, Tater. I didn't expect it, but it was certainly a good and fair topic.
I kind of thought the way things were going, like you, Donald, that he was just going to carve us. He's like, nope. A couple of texts have come in. 1-833-401-1440. Dave from Stony. It's amazing. Football is even legal. Every play is like a car accident, man. Yes, absolutely. Those guys, you see how they're just massive human beings. I describe football players as like little tanks, the way their bodies are built. You see DBs, and even though they're skinnier and not as big as linemen or linebackers, those guys are jacked. You see receivers, usually taller, athletic. Those guys are jacked. You see the linemen, they're big, heftier. Obviously, you have to push and move a lot of weight around. They're in the trenches, but they're strong as hell. Yeah, football is a violent sport. Eddie Steele was talking about it yesterday at the Action Electrical Golf Tournament. Shout out to Blake Bunting and the crew. Absolutely tremendous time, by the way. Thank you for having us. But Eddie was talking about it. He goes, it's super violent. Yeah, I get it. And if I had a kid, I would want my kid to play whatever sport they want, that they have a passion for. But if they said, Dad, I want to play football, I'd be like, oof. I would have to think twice about it. But hockey's kind of the same, to be honest. Like violent, high-impact collisions, smaller helmets, less protection.
It's similar, but also, like, I think the difference with hockey and football is, like, unless you have somebody who's predatory in hockey, you're not going to have as much head contact.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it depends on, obviously, the position that the kid's playing. In football in particular, but there's a lot of head contact in a lot of different areas and a lot of different ways that you can get your head seriously messed up. So unless your kid's ultra talented, and even if they are ultra talented, you got to look at football and go, this worries me as a parent. But hey, you know what? There's a reason we have players in the NFL, and there's a reason that, a guy like Chuba Hubbard makes it from good old Edmonton and area and goes to the NFL. It's a tough league, but hey, if you're good enough, you gotta weigh the risks yourself.
Couple of texts real quick before we go to a sports update and a break. This one from Montana Rice says CJ2K. He has ALS, right? No. Sorry, no. That's not who I'm thinking of. But there is research that shows an association between traumatic brain injuries, concussions, and ALS, which is scary. And then JB in the loader says, I find it amusing how everyone jumps on the bandwagon of how much more physical football is than the example of hockey. I'd say it's just as physical as hockey. Sometimes hockey is even more physical. After all, the football players aren't skating around on the ice. Yeah, both are very physical in different ways. And then Frithie adds, it's not just head contact, it's contact and drill that jolts the brain within the skull. Yeah, you get the whiplash and the movement, gets your brain rattling in there for sure. Cam and eggs, very, very important topic, talking about brain trauma, injuries, CTE, all that stuff. I thought you were just going to yuck it up and make it into a 2-minute carve fest, but no, he hits us with some real stuff. Anyway, we're going to step out for a quick breather. We're going to get to a sports update brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly, 780-265-0165. Dave Schlemko coming up next. Here's Dono.
The Sports 1440 update.
The guy that has ALS that we were talking about the other day. Yeah.
One season-ending injury in the NFL last night. The new Giants wideout, Calvin Austin. He's done for the year with a torn ACL. MLB action from last night. The Jays, they fell 5-3 to the Royals after Nathan Lucas got picked off second base to end the game. Their games from around the majors, the Pirates blanking the Padres 1-0. The Orioles over the Cardinals in a destruction 13-1. The Mets sneaking past the Brewers 3-2. Bo Sox over Marlins 7-3. Tigers hang on against the Rays 4-1. The Astros over Yankees 9-7. And the Cubbies, they blow it off of a walk-up from the Arizona Diamondbacks 5-4. Coming up next, we should be joined by David Schlemko, of course, the former NHLer and co-host of the last couple hours of this program. I'm Donovan Paulson. That's your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Struggling to find skilled workers? What if you could fill your talent pipeline with motivated, pre-vetted youth and receive funding to support your efforts? At Careers The Next Generation, we connect Alberta employers with interns in skilled trades, IT, agriculture, forestry, and more. All WCB covered, high school accredited, safety trained, and ready to contribute from day one. With 83% of RAP students continuing their apprenticeships after high school, investing in youth today means securing your workforce for tomorrow. Don't wait. Visit careersnextgen.ca to get started.
Get the lowdown with Low Tide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 1440. He's seen it all and then some. From stats to stories, he breaks it down like no one else. Proud to be Edmonton's sports leader. Sports 1440.
At GS Construction, we won't quit until we find a way to get the job done. And the right person makes all the difference. We're looking for our next superintendent, an experienced leader ready to take on the role. Because while GS Construction is building the water, sewage, and drainage systems Edmonton communities rely on, the superintendent is building up the team. If you know how to keep a job site safe, productive, and moving, we want to hear from you. Visit gsconstruction.ca/careers today.
Ford employee pricing is on now, and you pay what we pay on virtually our entire lineup of Ford vehicles. Visit your Alberta Ford store today.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, Denim Man. Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think, "Wow, great hair transplant." I want them to think,
"Wow, great hair."
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
Give me fuel, give me fire.
The Tom Gazzola Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
Hour number 3 of the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. Of course, Canada just hit the biggest home run of the summer. Bet365 available in Alberta now, and it's here to stay. Download the app. Must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Keep those texts coming in. 1-833-401-1440. We've got Dave Schlebko in studio, our co-host, and he is powered by Cougar Paint and Collision. Always great to have Schlemmer in Cougar Paint Collision, where family service and pride have earned customer trust for decades. CougarCollision.com. Go see Gord and the fam over on Yellowhead and just off of 82nd around there. Great shop. And hey, what's up, Schlemmer? How you doing?
I'm great, buddy. How you doing?
We're good. Everything's good. Nice to be back. I was
Yeah.
in Calgary all week last week, pushing pucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, mean mugging the cameras. It's
Yeah, a good time though.
It was a good time. It was
Nice.
nice to just get out of town for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, as much as I love our city, it's just nice to get away. You know how
Yeah.
it is. You get
I
away
mean,
for a
as
little
much
bit.
as we hate to admit it, Calgary's a pretty nice city too.
It is a nice city. It really is, and it's good to see. One of my brothers lives down there.
Oh, nice.
And catching up with friends and stuff. But yeah, it was good. And you're asking me how the camp was. I said it was good. Like the kids were very good, and there were a lot of kids that we've had in years past that
Oh,
were
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Some of them were little crap disturbers last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And you're watching them mature, and they're getting into the older groups because we have 3 groups.
Yep.
And they're good. And you're like,
They're growing up
how did you change into a nice kid? You were a little jerk.
right in front of your eyes.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And then the other thing, too, is you see the progression as they get better as hockey players. And that's good to see. The skill gets better, and that's fulfilling, I guess.
Yeah.
You know,
You're doing something right.
apparently, yeah. But they all had a good time. We had I bring my brother down. He helps out as well.
Nice.
Him and I handle the off-ice stuff. It's team building, we call it.
Okay.
Basically, it's
So you got to come
baseball,
up with some games.
kickball, dodgeball, a little dynamic stretching, stuff like that. Basically, before their next on-ice session, and they get into floorball. We have floorball there as well.
Floorball.
Yeah, it's
What's
like
that all about?
It's like sticks with the blades are like almost like wiffle. You know, it's a wiffle ball.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
then-
Okay, yeah.
yeah, so it doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah.
And so in between the on-ice sessions and team building, they do floorball, and we turn it into a tournament, and they get really fired up about
I'm
that.
sure that gets intense.
Oh, it does. There's a lot of crying, a lot of anger, bloody noses. They wear their helmets. They have to wear their helmets, but they still find a way to beat each other up at floorball.
Sticks are flying.
It's kind of hilarious. But yeah, my brother came down, and I introduced him. Like, this is Coach Paul. He's my brother. He used to work for the Oilers with me. And Paulie, introduce yourself. And he literally goes, Dave, I'm Coach Paul. I used to write, for sports in the Journal, and used to work for the Oilers and writing for them. And I like turtles. The kids called him Coach Turtle the rest of the week. And the Friday after it's game day Friday, they're all getting Ty Gretzky's autograph and other coaches who play junior and play pro. You know how it is. And then they go, hey, Coach Turtle, can we get your autograph? It's like, really? And there's like 10 of them. I thought it was hilarious. So it was
That's
good.
great.
Yeah.
So does Wayno make an appearance or no?
Sometimes. Depends.
Depends on the schedule.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not this time.
Not this time. He didn't make it up to Calgary. He actually popped in Coeur d'Alene last year.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't even know he showed up. You know who else shows up? Biz.
Oh, really?
He was in Coeur d'Alene as well.
Yeah.
And I think he'll pop in Phoenix too. Or when
I
we're in
heard
Scottsdale.
there's a lot of NHLers and former NHLers that hang out around Coeur d'Alene in
A
the
lot.
summer.
Oh yeah.
Coeur d'Alene and like Sandpoint, Idaho. It's supposed to be pretty nice in there.
The new one is Wyoming.
Oh yeah, like all the billionaires moving there.
Yeah. Well, I think Biz bought a place or bought some land there.
Did he?
Yeah. So
I can't even. I don't know. I can't even imagine Biz trying to.
he's your former teammate. I remember we were down in Idaho, and he came down, and he had just driven, I don't know, like 6 hours straight. And I'm going to drop a name here. Dirks Bentley and his kid were their neighbors with the Gretzkys, and Dirks's kids come to the camp in Idaho.
Nice.
And Biz shows up, and Dirks is there, and Ty's there, and Biz walks out, and he goes, "Hey, great to meet you guys. Good to see you guys." He's like, "I just took a piss. I don't want to shake your hand." That's so Paul Bissonnette.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
he's like
he's
fist
beauty.
pumping. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't see him taking care of a piece of land, but maybe he can pay someone to take care of it for him now. He's making all these Netflix bucks.
Yeah. They're doing pretty good.
He's doing pretty good for himself.
Yeah. How are you? What's
I'm
new?
great, buddy. Great. Not much is new. Just trying to enjoy what's left of summer here. Got out for 9 with the wife last night. Getting out with, well, I guess we got a Bakersfield guy coming on today, hey?
Yeah,
So
with Holtby coming up.
golfing with former Bakersfield legend Ryan Stanton. So
Excellent.
I should have asked him for a question, actually. I wasn't thinking.
That's
No,
okay.
I've been good.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, trying to enjoy what's left, man. Hockey's starting up right around the corner here.
Were you on a golf trip with the boys? Did I see that?
I was, yeah.
Was that with the Rat and
Yeah.
Vicky Skarpinski?
You bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Braden
And Kolesniak?
Kolesniak, yeah.
Where'd you guys go?
We got just up to the mountains, up to Kananaskis, and played around at Springbank. So
Nice.
Oh, it was great. Goes by too fast.
I
man.
know. Especially when you get to see the guys again.
Right?
How's Kale doing?
He's doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kale Mullarat, one of my buddies, former pro as well. I think he had a cup of coffee in the NHL.
Islanders
7
and
games.
Pens,
Yeah, Islanders and Pens.
Yeah.
He was doing the hockey thing for a bit, like most of us do, working at shift and running some skates, but just wasn't for him. So he got back in the real world and working a 9 to 5, doing his thing.
Oh, he's a great guy. I remember when he was in the Jets organization. He came back and played men's league with us one night.
Oh yeah.
And I think Keith McCambridge was his coach, and he goes, "Yeah, coach made us take our bags with us and our gear, and said you guys got to find ice while you're away." We're like, "You're gonna come play men's league?" He's like, "Yeah, I guess so."
Perfect.
And I think he played on a line for most of that game with myself and my old teammate Brett Nakanichny, who was a pretty good, like, excellent junior B player, decent junior A player, and I think we probably had like 9 points each.
That's a good night,
And the Rat probably had 14.
Nice little cookie night.
Oh, I was just like, this is so easy.
Oh, this is fun.
He's like, Kale. I didn't even have to call for the passes. It was just like,
Just get open.
just play with an NHL/AHL guy and you'll get a lot of points. I think we crushed whoever we played that night. Anyway.
Yeah, he'd be a good men's league guy. He was always good. Even in like our summer skates, even when he was in Europe, he was like one of the best guys out there. and
Yeah.
so skilled. So yeah, he was a good player.
Very easygoing guy. How was the golf? How'd you play?
Not great.
No.
But I think it's more about like the laughs and the times you have here. I won all my matches.
Did you?
So that was a good thing. I
Few
don't think
shekels on the line.
I don't think. Yeah, a little bit. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But nice to go through. I don't
It
think
is
I
good.
broke 80, but
Some of those courses can be pretty tough, can't they?
yeah, I mean, I think Mount Kidd is pretty gettable,
Yeah.
pretty wide fairways, but it's not so much about the golf when you're with the boys.
Yeah.
It's more about like the heckling and just winning your match.
I love that. Who's the best golfer of that group?
We're all pretty even. I think I was probably the lowest. Kolesniak's a really good putter.
Yeah.
Mullarat's just a really good chirper. Keeps it loose.
And
Keeps everybody on
where's
their toes.
Scarps in all of this?
Yeah, he's usually pretty steady too. I'd say he probably had the toughest weekend out of us.
I could see that.
But you could see that.
Yeah, no, I could have guessed it.
But no, I'd say we're usually all pretty even.
Yeah, mountain golf is great. Vicky Skarpinski's in better shape too.
Unbelievable.
He's the only guy I've ever seen at Old Union Hall sneak in a jumbo donair in his jacket sleeve.
Unreal.
After crushing one. So he went from at Old Union Hall, he went from there to Queen, got his stamp, had a jumbo donair, came back, and he's like, boys, look at this. And he like opens up his sleeve and he's like, a jumbo ready to go. And when I go home, we're like, Scarps, what are you doing?
Dripping sauce on his
Oh,
shoelaces.
yeah. You've got good friends.
He's a beauty.
Yeah, yeah. What's caught your attention in the world of sports? I know we're going to talk to Ryan Holt from the Bakersfield Condors, but you keeping an eye on the Jays? Like, where are you at right now?
I have been. I was gonna say I've been on the Jays train a little bit. Disappointing last night. It's just the same old story. The boys can't get a hit in a timely fashion. It's leaving way too many runners in scoring position.
How about the way they lost the game last night? I mean, they're clawing their way back in and then over aggressive, and Lucas gets thrown out.
Yeah, it's a tough way to lose the ball game there. I mean,
you losing faith?
No, not quite yet.
Okay, that's good.
Still got a chance. There's still almost 30 games left. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Did you catch any of the LPGA stuff that rolled?
I did. Yeah, I actually went on the Friday with my old man. Got some tickets. I know you said, I think on our first show, like I don't nerd out at golf much. So I'm like the opposite. I feel like I'm turning into a golf nerd.
Tell me more.
So he first asked me and I'm like, I don't know. Like I watch the men pretty hard, but I don't really know any of the ladies. And I'm like, I'll go spend some time with my dad and, check out a nice golf course. Never been to the Mayfair.
Isn't it awesome?
It was awesome. I loved it.
It's beautiful.
Really underestimated how good those ladies are. They are incredible.
They're machines. Yeah, that Yamashita. Did you see her up close?
I didn't get to see her.
4'11".
Yeah.
Swimmer. She's 4'11".
I mean, not many of them really swing hard. The men's game is such a speed game now, and they have the big misses when they do miss. But the women's game is completely different. They seem totally under control. It's like they're not even swinging hard or trying, but just precision, accuracy.
Nelly Corda, I swear to you, she's a robot with the way she swings the club.
It's a pretty swing.
Yeah. Did you get to see that up close?
Yeah, I got to see Nelly a little bit. I mostly followed Brooke.
How was that?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to get pretty up close at the ropes. I didn't think I'd be able to get that close, so that's kind of cool.
Was she interacting a lot with the crowd?
I don't know. Not really, I guess.
Yeah, she's probably dialed in.
Hat tips.
Hat tips.
Yeah.
What else stood out to you about that event? Because it looked like they made the city look fantastic.
Yeah, I was going to say, I had never
well.
been to the Mayfair. Some beautiful views out there.
Yeah.
You're down in the river valley, some beautiful views of downtown and the skyline on certain holes.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job of representing the city. Obviously, the bugs were kind of stole the show there.
How bad? Give us the honest.
When I was there on the Friday, it was pretty warm. I didn't think they were bad unless you kind of got into the shade, into the thick rough where it was a little wet still. But that's coming from a local who has been dealing with this all year. So
yeah. Well, they were like long sleeves and pants, and
it kind of stole the show a little bit of the tournament.
Yeah.
You saw a lot on social media, them talking and complaining. So
I don't blame them.
No, I mean, we've had record rainfall here this year. What are you going to do?
What can you do? You can only do so much to mitigate. I was thinking about that. I'm like, would you just go and like spray the whole course and everybody's got DEET poisoning? Like,
I mean, hey, I would love it if they'd bring back that mosquito program they got rid of 4 or 5 years ago.
Would have been real nice right about now. But yeah, no, it looked cool. And it's funny too, because some of the shots that from like ground level, you look and you're like, if you didn't know any better, you would have no clue that they were in the middle of a major metropolitan city. Like,
yeah,
I know we're only 1.5 million, but it's a city. It's a small, big city.
Yeah.
And some of those shots, like, you would think they're just playing in a golf course that's in the woods.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's a really nice course. They had it in beautiful shape anyways.
Yeah.
I was there for the weekend.
I once watched Bob Stauffer on a par 3 that was about 134 yards pull out a 3-wood, tee it up,
nice,
and just club one like 250 yards. And he turns and he looks at us and he goes, "Where'd that go?" I'm like, "Why did you hit a 3-wood? It's a par 3." He goes, "Oh, I didn't know."
What?
Stop! What are you doing?
I've never met Stoff actually.
What?
What's he like?
Very unique.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a friend. I've known him for a very long time. I worked with him for a long time. He is a smart man. He's a great broadcaster and very, very unique. But golf is not his game.
Okay.
Let's just put it that way.
It's not everybody's.
No, I have on my phone, I have a swing of his that I have to show you.
Oh, can't wait.
Yeah. He says you can't put that out on the public, and I will not. But for Schlemmer, I will show it to you.
Love it.
Okay, buddy, you ready to rock? We're off and running with Dave Schlemko, powered by Cougar Paint and Collision. Coming up next, we've got Ryan Holt from the Bakersfield Condors, play-by-play man extraordinaire, award winner, Ken McKenzie Award in 2025-2026 for promoting his team the best in the AHL. And he's a friend as well. He'll be hopping on to talk about the Oilers and their prospects right here on the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. And don't forget about our employee pricing. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later.
Sound familiar, Dale?
Thanks, Bet365.
Must be 18 or older. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. T's and C's apply.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
If you've got a lot of grass to cut, or just a little, the Lawnmower Hospital in Toro make it a breeze. Handle your yard with an easy maneuvering personal pace Toro walk-behind mower. For commercial and acreage use, hop on a Toro My Ride Zero Turn with the comfort and performance you deserve. Plus, 0% financing available for up to 36 months. See Toro, the top name in turf, now at lawnmowerhosp.com.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
Alberta, this one's for you. Around here, trust takes a few winters.
It's why players have known Jackpot City since 1998. Home to hundreds of exciting casino games, live dealer action, and new adventures waiting to be discovered. Jackpot City, nothing beats the original. Please play responsibly, 18 years or older, Alberta only.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca.
The Tom Gazzola Show. 60% talent, 40% Swedish hair cream. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
To the Tom Gazzola Show on Sports 1440, of course, presented by Bet365. Text us 1-833-401-1440. Dave Schlemko, Donovan Paulson, Josh Fenwick, and Cam Tate in studio. We're having a lot of fun on a Wednesday. We're showing some golf videos. Stoff swing. Sorry, Stoff. I had to show your swing to Schlemmer and Tater and the boys. I have to.
Was as bad as I thought it would be, honestly.
Well, that was his best shot. That was like the Oilers Media Golf Tournament like 8 years ago. But he's fun on the course. It's different.
Hey, that matters.
That matters. It matters. Yeah, exactly. We're pleased to be joined by our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, because your pipes take a beating on game day 2, ready for overtime, even when your plumbing isn't MrRooter.ca. It is the one and only Ryan Holt, play-by-play man and PR man extraordinaire for the Bakersfield Condors. Holty, did you shave? You said you're going to shave.
I didn't shave. I have a 4-month-old now at the house, so I got to get her ready. I got to get the 5-year-old ready for school. It just didn't happen today. I apologize. And then I come on and you're wearing a hat. I don't even get to see the hair today. So
It's there.
You know.
It's just we're in the middle of summer. I'm sorry, Holty.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing? You look good. Glad to have you on. We're going to talk a little bit about the pipeline and the prospects and everything, because we're getting ready for the hockey season. But I want to actually give you a little bit of love because you won an award, and I'm very happy for you as your friend and former colleague. The Ken McKenzie Award for most successfully promoting your club during the 25-26 season. You didn't even want to go to accept it, did you?
No, but I do enjoy Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is where the award ceremony was and our meetings were. Yeah, thanks, Tom. It's a reflection of the overall organization, right? We're fortunate to have great support here in Bakersfield, in Condorstown. We obviously have great support from the Oilers, great support from the community here, and we've got a dynamite staff, right? Like I've been, fortunate to have some great bosses and Matt Riley and now Justin Fosbender and great people that I've worked with. This is my 16th year here in Bakersfield from ECHL to what it is now. I don't think we ever could have imagined, and looking forward to the future here in Bakersfield.
Wow, 16 years. That's a big shift.
It's a long shift. It's been a lot of hours, a lot of nights on the old iron lung,
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, I guess promoting a hockey in a non-traditional market, how much do you have to think outside the box? I mean, I remember playing in like the Central Hockey League in Arizona. It seemed like we had some kind of theme night like every other home game.
Yeah, that's how we treat it. We treat it as entertainment, right? And we're fortunate now that, this is the American Hockey League, right? These guys are making, $500,000 to $1 million a year. Like, these are not, when we were in the ECHL and we were grinding, much like, the WCHL and the CHL days, you might have one or two guys, every decade get to, maybe their NHL career or maybe their dream.
Right.
Here we're fortunate, right? Like we're being able to sell a little bit more hockey these days, which is really good. I think when we started in the American Hockey League, the amount of Kings fans to other fans, I would say, was probably 70%. Like our fan base was probably 70% Kings fans outside of being Condors fans, regardless of affiliation. Now that the Oilers have taken over, it's probably 60-40 Oilers, and probably even higher just because of how many guys have moved up. So we still do a lot of promotions. Every game has the theme. We're releasing our promotional schedule Monday. I think we've got Toy Story night and Snoopy's coming and giveaways and the Neato boxes. I mean, we're trying to do something for everyone. We get $3 beers on Fridays. So, trying to hit everybody with everything and have fun while we do it.
You know what, Holty, too? I think going back to the ECHL days, and you knew of the Bakersfield Condors, and listen, you see it on the top 50.
We still get random checks from like Japan for the bird video for royalties. So.
Yes. But like, you guys have been featured on ESPN. Didn't you get like Olbermann a jersey that he wore one time as well?
That was the Gettysburg Address one with the entire Gettysburg Address on it and Lincoln on the front, and that was Chet Pickard's brother, Calvin Pickard. Olbermann bought the jersey for like $5,000.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you guys have found a way, and there's a strong following there, and it works, man. And you play a big part in that. So that's why you get the Ken McKenzie Award. And I think we need to give you some flowers for that. So well done, sir, to you and the entire staff there. I did notice you didn't mention Keith Gretzky, so I'll note that. And
I've had great GMs too, including Keith Gretzky. Great golfer. He did bring me back some Gretzky cream when they came back from the draft and from the camp the last couple of weeks. So that was good too.
Yeah, I know. I just want to get my shot in there. Great guy. Okay, well let's talk business because we're getting ready for training camp. It's a couple of weeks away, which is crazy because we're still trying to enjoy as much of the summer as we can. But a lot of people around here kind of curious about Ike Howard. They're wondering where Quinn Hudson might fit in, if he does fit in. What can you tell us about the years that those guys had down in Bakersfield last year and what they might be able to do if they get a shot in the NHL this year?
Yeah, I would put, let's start with Howard. I would put him on maybe, if you're plotting points and saying, who is this player, plot him with Matt Savoy. I think he's just a year behind, what Savoy, on the trajectory, right? So, Savoy came here, had a very good AHL season, found his footing in the NHL, ends up having a great, rookie season, in the NHL with the Oilers last season, and now is expected to maybe take a big step forward this year. I think if you're Howard, I think you're looking for full-time NHL time, this year, being a role player, an impactful player in the minutes that you get. Maybe that is killing penalties. Maybe that is finding minutes outside of, traditional 5-on-5 or traditional power play, because you're not going to really get much of that up in Edmonton. And then working the trust of the coaching staff. I think it's a clean slate for an Isaac Howard, right? Like, you have a whole coaching staff. You have a management group who definitely believes in you. I mean, they brought you in. So, I think the opportunity is there for him, much like Quinn Hudson. Now, Quinn's a little bit older, right? But again, these are two offensively gifted players. I mean, Quinn can score at will. Ike scores at will. I think Ike probably skates a little bit better. I think that's fair to say. I think that's an area of his game that translates at the next level. I think that's probably I'll use the knock on Hudson is maybe the overall, skating side of the game. But, these are two guys who live and eat and breathe this game. Really fortunate to have them in the organization. They're probably in a cluster of 9 guys for 4 or 5 spots up in Edmonton, and we'll see how it shakes out in training camp. But I think it's good for the organization to have these, types of players because, with having limited draft picks, with having limited capital, you got to bring guys in that are kind of on the cusp already when they come into the organization, because otherwise you're not going to have the ability to develop them. Certainly at the NHL level, there's just not going to be enough opportunity up there.
Yeah, I really like that last point you made about gaining the trust of the coaching staff. I think that's going to be huge for Ike, especially because he's going to get his shot, right? It's to, get Babs to like you. I mean, that's what Savvy did, right? He didn't have a huge role at the start of the year. He had a very much supporting role, but he went to work and he did it right and did the little things right. And I think that's a great blueprint kind of for Howard to follow. What about a player to watch that maybe some Oiler fans may not know as well that you think could make a huge jump this year?
Yeah, I think, if we were talking this time last year, I would have never known who Josh Szymanski was. And now here we are talking him a year later. And, this is a guy that, everyone has penciled in. And, maybe he takes the next step at the full-time NHL level and really grabs a solid role up there. In terms of guys that, if you're projecting to be here, I think it's a big year for Mariala here. This is a quiet, Finnish-born kid who, just goes about his business, right? He's very mild-mannered. He's the opposite of like an Ike Howard, right? There's, personality with Ike. With Mariala, it's strictly I'm Finnish and I'm just going to go and play hockey. And we call him the magician down here. He's a cerebral hockey player, kills penalties. He's going to center our top line, you would imagine, here in Bakersfield, no matter who's on the wings. I think if he can put up a type of year that he had last year again, the knock on him is going to be the size, right? He's not an overly big kid. He skates well, puts himself in good positions, handles the puck. And like I said, handles himself in a 200-foot style of game, kills penalties. So I think there's a role potentially for him, depending on injuries, depending on what happens by the end of the year, that if he's doing the right things, he's going to, get noticed and get an opportunity, especially because he's a center. And as we all know, that's hard to come by these days.
Ryan Holt joining us, Bakersfield Condors play-by-play man. And we're talking about the pipeline and what to look forward to at training camp. An interesting name and one that gets excitement around oil country is Connor Clattenburg, Holty.
He's exciting.
Yeah, and like, would you not caution Oiler fans, but like, where is he at in developing as a pro hockey player? Because he's pretty young still, and I know the raw tools that he possesses are ones that Oilers fans really appreciate. But how much refinement has there been and needs to be still?
Yeah, I think the first part of Clattenburg is availability, right? He's had a couple of injuries here over the last couple of seasons. He got hurt last year. He came back, got hurt again. But when he's in a lineup, right, like guys notice him in the lineup. He has a ton of energy. He impacts the game, and I know that there's the fighting side of the game, and that definitely plays down here, and it certainly plays in Edmonton too. But I think it's just the overall physicality, right? It's knowing when to pick your spots. He's an aggressive player. There is offensive tools there that I think can still, be refined and continue to come from him. But what he needs to do, I think, because at this level, he's getting, more minutes than what he would in Edmonton, right? But if he does get to Edmonton on a full-time basis, it's going to be in a bottom six, checking, penalty kill type of role. You might get 6-7 minutes a night. What can you do with those 6-7 minutes? You don't necessarily have to impact the game, but you can't, show up negatively, I think, on the film at the end of the night too. And I think, early on last year, it was showing up a little bit too more negatively than it was positive. By the end of the year, I think it was completely the opposite, which I think is a good thing. Do I think his arrows went up really quick this past season? I do. I would have never said he was, going to play in the NHL last year, but it's a credit to him because he's a great kid. He gets it. He absorbs it. He understands his role. He enjoys being part of the team. And at the end of the day, the guys love him. And you can't have enough guys like that, in my opinion.
Yeah, he had a nice little stint here last year. I mean, the fans liked him. I think he's going to be in a dogfight training camp this year to get a spot. I don't think that Joseph signing helped him at all, but it'll be exciting to watch. Wanted to ask you about the head coach. What type of coach is Colin Chalk? How does he motivate his players? How does he operate?
Yeah, he's been great. He was thrown in the fire, right? First year assistant in the American Hockey League. And, Jay Woodcroft gets called up. Dave Manson gets called up. That was late January, February that year, thrown right in the fire, right? Leads us to the postseason, leads us to a first round sweep of a very good Abbotsford team, a team that had Puck Olsen on it. I mean, that was a good squad. We ended up sweeping them. Has led us to the playoffs basically every season that he's been here. Gets a new deal this past season as well too. And extends for a couple of seasons here in Bakersfield. I think Colin, when he started, I think was I'll say timid to assert himself. I think with the locker room, we had a little bit more of a veteran team. Brad Malone was here, so you can kind of let the room kind of dictate things. But I thought last year was his best year, was the coaching staff's best year. He kind of let his guard down a little bit, right? Was a little more relaxed, let the guys enjoy themselves coming to the rink every day, enjoy being a hockey player. Not to say, he's a player's coach or, whatever, type of terminology you want to put on that. But I just think the guys enjoyed coming to the rink each and every day. And I think that's important, right? Because even if you're winning or losing, we've all been there. If you're around the room and it's not fun to be around, like it makes days long, it makes, games long, it makes weeks long, and it gets it to be a grind. I thought last year he let guys have fun. The personality started shining, the proof is in the pudding from the development side of things with Howard, with Hudson. You look at even some of the guys that didn't maybe make it in the organization, but have made it other places too. The Kesselrings, the Brobergs, the Holloways. James Hamlin has had a terrific career, for being what, James Hamlin is and who he is. And that's credit to Hamlin, but it's also credit to the coaching staff. And I think that's a big part of it. And, Colin did a great job last year.
Who would have won in the fight if it happened between him and Zach Stortini? Because they were kind of shooting away at each other, and they almost got into it. I thought that was great. I saw the video of it.
Yeah, that was a good one. We were pumping them pretty good. I think it was like 6-0, 7-0, and Stortini, and they kept taking penalties and Chalker kept sending out the top power play unit and just said, "Okay, fine. You want to kick penalties? I'm going to keep scoring." And obviously, Stortini was not pleased with it. They started back. The funny part is they're all by the same management group. They all kind of have the same agents or whatever it is. So like they all go to the coaching seminars together. So they had a good laugh with it over the summer and stuff. But yeah, pretty good. And like I said, that stuff plays here anytime. So I always tell Colin, like, if you want to get kicked out of games, you want to throw water bottles, do something, do it at home. Don't do it on the road.
Love that. Ryan Holt with us from the Bakersfield Condors, play-by-play man. And Holty, I'm curious about this one because it's a guy that came in with some hype when he was drafted by the Oilers, and it seems to have quieted down a bit around him. But when you look at the Oilers pipeline on the back end, there isn't much there. Where's Bo Akey at? How is he coming along? Because I know he had a stint in the ECHL, just 4 games in Fort Wayne, but played 42 games with Baco last year. Give us a sense of what we might see from Bo Akey at training camp.
Yeah, same thing. Availability, right? He kind of was hurt to begin the season last year. Got healthy, and I thought he was very good. Kind of around kind of the Christmas mark, and he had a good probably 20, 25 game stretch there. Him and Damien Carfagna, right? Puck moving defenseman. Very simple. Carfagna probably has a little bit more offensive flair, but I think Akey moves the puck well, and it's the style of defenseman that you're seeing coming into the organization, of late. Guys who can skate, guys who can move the puck, guys who can get the puck in the forwards' hands, because maybe there was under the last leadership or big bruising type of defenseman, try to bully your way around back there. For Akey, then he took a puck to the face, off. Kind of a weird bounce in San Jose off the bench. It was gruesome. I didn't think he was coming back last year, and then he was back in probably 3 weeks afterwards. He was missing teeth. He had his mouth wired shut, but he got back out there, and I think it's a credit to him, to say, hey, I want to play. I want to get back out there. I want to be available. Was he 100%? Probably not. So I think a full summer of training, get back going. He probably has to get a little bit bigger, I think, so be interested to see how he comes into camp, how he looks there. But the skating's there. The awareness is there. Can he take the next step this season? He's going to get all the opportunity in the world, just because of, like you mentioned, the lack of depth back there in terms of, prospects and drafted and developed players. But he'll get an opportunity for sure. But him, Carfagna, and the new kid Chibolka are probably the 3 young guys back there with the veterans.
Schlummer, anything?
Well, not really. That was gonna be my last question. It was gonna be the back end. Anything else going on down there that Oiler fans should be excited about?
Goaltending. Yeah, that's the only thing I think of is like what's going on with the goalie situation.
Well, we have enough of them, so that's good. Yeah, I think it's between Tompkins, Unger, Janssen, Day, and now Vinny comes over. I think Vinny, and a lot was made of that, just him signing over here. I don't think Vinny had an opportunity in Finland or Sweden. Just from what I'm, gathering from the tea leaves here, just because he was injured in kind of the second division, he was probably supposed to be, but I think just didn't get the opportunity, but wanted to obviously stay in the organization. And that was a way to stay in the organization. So he'll come over too and be in the mix, and it'll sort itself out. American Hockey League, you're going to play back-to-backs, just about every weekend. So you need 2. We went 5 deep last year. We're probably going to go at least 4 deep this year at some point. So, you'll get your opportunities, you'll get your time. Unger definitely forced his opportunity last year. He was a guy who played for 4 different ECHL organizations, including Fort Wayne, our actual affiliate. And then when he came up here, he went 9-0 to start and had like a 1.5 goals against and a 9.4 save percentage. So he forced everyone's hand. If he wasn't good, he'd be out of the organization, but he was unreal. So forced the hand, and we'll see how it all plays out. But I like Matt Tompkins as a veteran, a 9-1-0 guy. He's going to be solid and give you what he gives. And, everyone else will kind of rotate around that, and we'll see what happens. So we know we're going to use them all. That's for sure.
Yep. That tends to happen. Holty, it was awesome to see you. Great catching up with you. Congrats on the Ken McKenzie Award. Well-deserved, my friend. And we're going to be doing this soon.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. And congrats to you on the new show, and look forward to tuning in throughout the year.
You are the best, Holty. There you go.
All right,
Ryan Holt from the Bakersfield Condors, play-by-play man, man of many talents, wears a lot of hats for that organization. He is our Mr. Rooter headliner of the day, dropping the gloves on every clog pool. That's mrrooter.ca.
Those guys are the best, though. Hey, and like minor pros and junior, they wear a lot of hats.
They work their asses off, and I admire and appreciate how they build the relationships with the players.
Oh,
and the
yeah.
coach. They're the glue guys, basically.
And it's like you say, like they all have to work more than one job. It's all behind the scenes. They don't get to ride on like the private planes like the NHL. It's a grind.
Yeah, I remember Josh Evans, who is the PR guy for the Oklahoma City Barons.
Yep.
And he picked me up. I got sent down to OKC for an assignment to do a report on the farm. Picks me up from the airport. I'm seeing tornado shelters on the bathrooms in the airport. Wow, I'm in the South. And we're driving, and he's like, "So how you doing? We're taking you to Deep Deuce. We're gonna go have a bite to eat. You're gonna meet the coaches." I'm like, "Oh, this is amazing."
Like, am I in a movie?
Yeah, and he's the nicest guy in the world. He's like, "I was with the Blazers, the team that was here before. I love hockey." And I'm like, "Oh my God." And I'm like, I've never been to the South like this before. Like I'd been to Florida, but I'd never been to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And he's
the real
like,
South.
the South. This is the Midwest. What are you talking about, South? I'm like, oh. He ended up being a good friend because I ended up going down there for 5 years and hanging out with him, getting to know his family, and they're the glue guys.
Yeah.
And they work their asses off, man.
You bet.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. There you go. Ryan Holt. Good stuff with him from the Bakersfield Condors. A bit of a look at the organizational depth chart as we get set for training camp in a couple of weeks. All right. We'll take a breather. When we come back, we've got In or Out with Donovan right here on the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780 all sevens. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Why tee off at the Ranch Golf and Country Club?
A fun, unique layout offering premier conditions. The Ranch has been ranked as one of the top public courses in Canada.
Unmatched value. Score Golf Magazine rated the Ranch as the best value in Edmonton.
The service, from tournaments to special events to the pro shop. Superior service that makes every visit exceptional.
The Ranch Golf and Country Club, a laid-back environment where anyone can enjoy an amazing day on the fairways. For details, visit theranchgolf.com.
Looking for auto repair with something extra? Cougar Paint and Collision is ready to help.
We don't always work on your everyday cars. Lots of times there's stuff that's out of the ordinary. You know, it feels good when people phone and they ask for advice on what's the best way to do something, or even if they stop in just even to see if their car's worth fixing or not. Giving them advice and help along the way on how to fix their cars, kind of good.
Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family.
1 in 3 Canadians aren't getting enough sleep. Let the Brick help you sleep better for less. Save 40% on the Sealy Crown Jewel Resort mattress. Get cheap starting at just $49. And buy one pillow, get the second one for just $10. Plus, take up to 55 months to pay with no interest and no money down. And with next day delivery in Edmonton, you can start sleeping better right away. Some conditions apply. OAC. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Recently, our company softball team lost a big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show. Oiler Insider and Jersey Aficionado. Edmonton's sports leader. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
Great song. Great song. 9:48 in Edmonton. We are having fun on a Wednesday edition of the Tom Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. Chime in with your thoughts if you got any. 1-833-401-1440. Flemmer's in. Dono's here. Fenny and Tater. We're going to play in or out with Donovan next. That is brought to you by the Oilers Nation Golf Tournament. There are a few foursomes left. Make a team and register to play on Friday, August 28th. So it's coming up pretty quick here at Millwoods. Loads of prizes, competitions, and fun in support of Gregor's Grads. Great cause. Sign up at nationexperiences.ca. Tater wants to play, so he will. Dono, you said you had to switch some things up initially, so I'm looking forward to seeing what you got in store for us.
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
Alrighty, fellas. First up on the agenda, we went out to KC earlier in the program to talk a little Chiefs with Blair Kirchhoff. In case you missed it, an hour or two. I'm saying Pat Mahomes, after he really hasn't been very good statistically in the regular season since 2022, I'm saying it's going to be another underwhelming regular season for Patrick Mahomes.
Ooh, another hot take from Donnie P. I'm going to go out on this one. I think this guy's a proven champion, and he's got a little bit too much pride to not come back and have a good season.
Tater gave it a thumbs down, so he's also out on this. I feel like he's a championship pedigree,
right?
Legendary quarterback. I'm out as well. I feel like he'll bounce back. He's that good.
Legendary playoff quarterback. However, if you look at his regular season numbers,
that's fair. That's fair.
Since
I get that.
2022, he has not statistically been very good. He's been fine. Like, he's been basically average.
But he gets you to the big dance, and then when he does,
they were below 500 with
They've
Patrick Mahomes in play last year. They were 6-8 with Patrick Mahomes playing.
So maybe he's got a little chip on his shoulder this year.
Motivated.
Maybe he does, but
I'm with Tater on this one.
I am kind of out on the Chiefs this year. I think this is the year another year they missed the playoffs, and I feel like Patrick Mahomes, people just still throw his name up there as the best QB in the NFL. He's undoubtedly the best playoff quarterback currently in the NFL. But when it comes to the regular season, just hasn't been that good for a while now. So I
have a question about that.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear what you guys think. After you get to a certain level,
yes,
in any major pro sports league, and you know how the game works, and you know that once you get to the playoffs, you can turn it on, if you will, for lack of a better term. Do those numbers and the progression through the regular season matter as much?
I don't think so. If you have a veteran team that's kind of all been there before,
Case in point, Kansas City.
But I still think it's hard to just flip that switch if you haven't been kind of building toward it all year.
I respect that. Building toward it is important. I'm just curious. Like, I want to give Mahomes the benefit of the doubt.
Like, I think, so obviously last year they stunk. They missed the playoffs. That is what it is. But like the year before, I think people looked at them and they saw a great record, but they saw a team that looked very, I guess, younger people such as myself would say fraudulent. They weren't that good. They weren't as good as their record shows. And so, like, I don't think you can flip the switch. I really don't. And I thought whether that was the Oilers last year, as much as guys want to say, oh, the regular season's irrelevant, it doesn't matter. Younger me would agree, but now at my current state and in covering sports for a while now.
Old and wise.
Well, it's just I feel like
Go on.
the more I've covered it in the especially last season with the Oilers, I don't think you can look past it. I think you have to still look at some games and play well and be a benchmark game and actually find a process. The Chiefs, I'd argue they haven't really found a process in the last little bit. They were great in terms of record in 2024, but they just looked fake. Like they won in so many different lucky ways. Now that you can attribute that to a real proven championship winner, but then, that's
just say it. You hate the Chiefs.
Well, I do hate the Chiefs, but I'm out on Patrick Mahomes in general as the number 1 QB in the NFL. Still, it's just he just hasn't had it for a while now in terms of the number 1 guy. But to jump to question 2, the Jays season with Shane Bieber now on the IL, I think it's officially time to write it off. It's over.
Tater says out. You have belief? Yeah, he still believes in the Jays. I will be in on this. Listen, no offense to Jays fans, but every time they tease you.
They sure do.
They tease you with a real bright spot, and then they let you down. It's like this build up to something nice and a total letdown. And we're watching the letdown unfold before our eyes. They get beat pretty bad on Sunday by the Yankees. They lose 2 of 3 there. Those are important AL East games. And then they come out, face the Royals, and blow that one. And it's in a way that probably pissed a lot of Jays fans off. And I just feel that's their identity this year. So I'm in that the season's over after the Shane Bieber injury. What do you think, Shlomo?
Oh, my head wants to say in, but my heart says out. There's still 29 games left. It's like you said, they do tease you, but they're still a good ball club. They're still hitting. They're not hitting at the right time, but I think they're close. The fact that they still have any chance of getting that last wild card spot is wild.
Yes.
But while they have it, I'm still in on them.
I love it. Loyalty, devotion, belief.
I believe.
Love the loyalty, but over his last 4 starts, Shane Bieber an ERA just under 3. An ERA, I think, was 2.96 in his last 4 starts. So Shane Bieber had just finally found his groove this year, and then immediately goes down with a shoulder injury.
That sucks.
That
sucks. Step up.
Sucks for Bieber, but now an already taxed bullpen is going to be consistently more taxed again. So it's been a tough year injury-wise for the Jays, and of course it has to end their season with, in my opinion, the Shane Bieber injury. Number 3 here, fellas. We are this was the rework question a little bit. For me, I think the Condors prospect who is going to play the most games this season up with the big club will be Connor Clattenburg. And I use prospect because obviously there's some Max Jones isn't a prospect.
No,
okay.
It's not.
What's Tater saying?
Tater's out.
I'm going to be out as well on this one. I do like Clattenburg. I like his game a lot, and I think he'll get some games. I just think it's too much traffic in that bottom 6.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys competing. There's a lot of veteran players. I think that'll wind up getting slotted in there as the season progresses. For me, I think it's going to be Hudson.
Ooh, okay.
Are we considering Ike Howard a prospect still, or he's pretty much penciled into the lineup? No,
I think you're right. I mean, technically, you could probably still say prospect, but I think you are. I think that is the right way to frame it, the way you just did.
Right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would be Ike Howard. But
yeah,
I liked what I saw out of Hudson last year. He's he's a more cerebral player, I think, than people realize. And I think with somebody like Skilled goes down out of that top 6 and he gets an opportunity, I could see him taking advantage of it.
I like how you said cerebral. He just finds a way, right? I guess that's
Yep.
cerebral, like that first
Hockey
goal is
IQ, yeah,
that's
whatever you want to
important.
call it.
I'm curious to see what kind of opportunity he gets.
Might take a while.
Might, yeah. That, like you said, there's a logjam in that bottom 6. I'll be out. Does Szymanski count?
I wouldn't count. I have
would not count him.
pretty much as a 4C,
He
right?
played a lot of games.
Yeah, he did.
Played a fair few games.
He got
Played
some
some
playoff
playoff
games.
stuff. I wouldn't count him.
Maybe I'll go in. If they're getting pushed around and they want somebody to go in and be rambunctious, if it gets to that point, maybe Clattenburg plays a bunch of games if he stays healthy. But I'll be a reluctant in.
Hey, it's totally possible.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to be close to league minimum. If he comes in, he's doing the same thing as those veteran guys are doing.
Right.
Why not take him?
I'll go in on that one reluctantly.
I think a lot of Oilers fans would want this to be Connor Unger. However, with the 3 goalies, I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, that's another log jam.
That's a whole nother log jam and a whole nother ball of wax. But yeah, Clattenburg, if they need somebody who's going to be physical and a little energy, I think that's the answer. Number 4, the Oilers. I'm saying they're going to lose at least one player on waivers before the start of the regular season.
In? Okay, Tater's in.
I'm going to be in as well on this one. I think they got a lot of D.
Yeah.
I think if they end up sending Alec Regula down, I think he'll be gone.
I agree with you on that. Yeah. I'll also be in. I'm curious to see what happens with Spencer Stasny as well.
Right.
I feel like he might be on the outside looking in. Like,
yeah.
What has Ty Emberson done wrong?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Honestly, he took a little longer kind of to develop into what he was the second half of last year.
Yeah.
But I think the thing with Emberson is what you see is what you get. I don't think there's much more of a ceiling there with him.
Very fair point.
What he's doing now.
Yeah. Serviceable.
Yeah.
A good term, I think. I'm in. I think Schlemmer and Tater probably agrees one of these D-men probably gets plucked. And a name that keeps popping up, people kind of poo-poo him, and it's my dog, Matthias Janmark.
Oh, yeah. He does take a lot of heat
He
here.
does. No offense, obviously. He's playing with a bum shoulder the last couple of years. He got it fixed. But apparently, like, say he shakes loose and they decide to waive him. Apparently, there's 1 or 2 teams out there that they really like him. And
I believe it.
Would probably steal him from.
Very serviceable player, yeah.
Yeah. Good guy, too.
Yeah, veteran. He does. He looks like a beauty.
Yeah. He's a really good guy. Nice to talk to. Good one.
Do you think there's only one spot, piggybacking off Janmark, do you think there's only one spot for him and Joseph? Do you not? I view them as very similar. I think they're the same player.
I think
slightly
can
different.
Joseph play center too?
That I don't fully know. I think he's mostly just a winger, but I think they're both just the same kind of player. Very limited offense, very defensive conscience.
Agreed.
Quick.
I think Joseph's a better skater. Janmark's probably just a little bit more veteran savvy, kind of smart.
Yeah.
But he can play center and Joseph can't. That helps a lot.
That's a good point. Versatility, flexibility. I don't know what to make of Matthew Joseph. It's always like you see the tools and you're like, tall, strong, skates well, but it just feels like it doesn't really come together. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I haven't seen enough of him to really have an opinion.
He's been very, very all over the place in his NHL career. You're very right there, Tommy. But number 5, on this day in 1971, Bobby Orr signed the NHL's first $1 million contract. To me, the NHL needs to dramatically increase league minimum.
Ooh.
Well, I'll go first on this one. I'm 100% in on this one. Coming as an undrafted player who had to play at league minimum for my first couple of years. I think that'd be great. Help more guys set up for life. I think we're kind of going the opposite direction with these guys getting paid $15+ million out of their entry level contracts. I don't think that's going to leave much left for the Pigeons, but I would like to see that.
You had to call them bitches.
Yeah, I was one of them.
They're very, very good hockey players. They're the best in the world.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. If I appreciate spreading the wealth, if there's prosperity. Tater's in, by the way, on this too. Spread it, and like you're right, Schlemmer. Like, you had to work your ass off to get to that point, get that big contract. The first one probably felt amazing too. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of sweat, blood, and tears. And I think as much as the high-end guys deserve the big payday, and the glitz and glamour that comes with that, which is something we always talk about. The guys that just get a couple of years in the league, it'd be good if they were also getting a little boost up too.
Well, it might extend their careers a little bit too, right? I think a lot of these guys are getting pushed out of the league right now because they're making 1.5 and they're just a little bit better than that entry level guy that's making 800.
Yep.
So now maybe if you make that a little closer together, maybe these guys get another kick at the can where they wouldn't have before.
That's a good point. And when the roster freeze happened during the pandemic, it felt like the guys in the middle were getting squeezed out. Maybe there's some relief there now that the salary cap's going up, but you're right. Like, hey, we got two guys that kind of bring you the same thing. One's a veteran guy making $600K more than the younger guy on an entry level. Well, who
matters in a salary cap world, right?
Big time, but it affects lives.
Yep.
So that's a great point. I'm glad we brought that up. Yes. So I think we're all in agreement.
For those wondering, NHL minimum salary this year, $850K. And you might be looking at that and going, "Oh, that's a lot of money."
How many taxes do you get hit with on that salary?
Oh, lots.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what escrow's at now.
It's gone now.
Oh,
they finally finished it
yeah,
off.
that's huge.
Yeah,
like
that was
I
a pain
think
in
my
the ass.
last deal in Montreal, like I think I was getting like a little over a third of my gross.
Jeez. And the taxes in Quebec are pretty
Insane.
substantial.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest ones in the league. But yeah, it's definitely not what it looks like on paper. But nobody is complaining.
Right. Yes.
And then if you're a tweener, if you're one of these up and down guys, right? Like that's going to be obviously like that would be
that's huge,
substantial difference in terms of your actual total gross. So to me, and it's not going up to $1 million till 2029, 30.
Okay.
So like you look at other sports and I don't feel like hell, even the NBA, like look at what a bum makes in that league versus what and it's totally different salary structure. Yeah, but like it's a totally different league, obviously, in terms of the total money and dollars handed out to the NBA players. But like, I just feel like when you have these, especially the tweeners, like those are the guys going up and down and coming back and forth. Like look at a guy like Quinn Hudson, where you're probably on the roster for about 20 days last year, and the money that's coming in is just not going to be remotely close to good enough relative to how much you're getting taken away from you. So I don't want to say feel bad, but I feel the pain of probably what it feels like to be, especially a tweener.
Would you get a month's worth of salary if you were up at the big club for 20 days?
No,
you get per day basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how they do it, which is still nice.
Oh, definitely.
I remember talking to Ryan O'Mara, and he got called up for like a week. I'm like, what'd you do with the pay? He's like, went on a nice vacation.
Oh yeah, man. I remember the first Olympic break. I was a tweener, and I got called up. We had so many guys that were at the Olympics.
Yeah.
And then you have that week coming back to practice, and those guys weren't skating yet. So I just got called up to get bagged every day. But hey, I didn't care. I was getting paid. It's awesome.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet. That was In or Out, which was powered by the Oilers Nation Golf Tournament. Good stuff, Dono. Good conversation. Tater, thanks for playing along. Excellent. That was a lot of fun. We got to step out for a quick break. We do have to get to a Sports 1440 update brought to you by All-Star Construction. They shape and build Edmonton communities specializing in underground utilities like power, gas, telecommunication, and street lighting. That's All-Star Construction. Here's Donovan.
The Sports 1440 update.
In case you missed a couple of key injuries, obviously the Toronto Blue Jays, Shane Bieber, he's on the 15-day IL with a shoulder injury. You've got Calvin Austin, the Giants wide receiver, done for the year with a torn ACL. Some MLB action today. The Jays, they are back in action against the Royals. Spencer Miles getting the bullpen start. That first pitch goes at 5:07. The Rays, they are in Detroit to battle the Tigers. The Guardians once again take on the lowly Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Marlins hosting the Bo Sox. Yankees clash with Astros. Dodgers battle the Braves. Texas Rangers, they control their fate against the Chicago White Sox. Coming up next, it's hour 4 of the show. I'm Donovan Paulson. That's your Sports 1440 update.
1440, Stingray Radio Station. CHJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
The Chicken Parmy Burger. Make extreme pulled pork, garlic and black pepper chicken McNuggets, cheesy bacon McFlavor fries, and the Stroop Waffle McFlurry. You've scrolled them. You've screenshotted them. You've never been able to order them until now. This is the McDonald's World Menu Heist. The most wanted menu items taken from around the world, now in Canada. Get them while you can. For a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Everything is going to be okay. If your debt has you feeling like you're in a free fall, you have options. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. Becoming debt-free is possible, and a personal bankruptcy or consumer proposal will get you there. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. You'll learn how a consumer proposal allows you to eliminate your debt by paying a percentage of the amount owed without interest. At Faber, we'll tackle your debt.
Not sure what wheels fit your vehicle? Evolve Wheels and Tires gives you honest advice from enthusiasts who know fitment inside and out. Whether it's your truck, SUV, or sports car, they have you covered. Evolve Wheels and Tires, Edmonton's premium wheel specialists. Evolve your ride. Evolve your experience.
Plan for success in 2027 with help from the Co-op Grow team. With the latest on-farm technology, our agronomists will work with you to gather and interpret soil samples, analyze data, and gain more insight into your fields. We offer local expertise and trusted advice to help you plan your inputs and prepare for the unexpected. Get ready to make data-driven decisions with Co-op Ag Zone Field. Make a successful 2027 crop plan to meet your field's potential. Talk to your Co-op Grow team today.
Step into a night of pure pop magic with Arrival, Canada's ultimate tribute to ABBA. Live October 9th at Pure Casino Yellowhead's Pearl Showroom. Experience a high-energy celebration of ABBA's biggest hits, brought to life by a world-class six-piece band featuring dazzling costumes, tight harmonies, and unforgettable stage energy. Tickets from just $44.99. Get yours now at Ticketmaster. Don't miss Arrival, Canada's ultimate tribute to ABBA, October 9th at Pure Casino. Pure entertainment, pure action, and pure imagination.
The Tom Gazzola Show. All gas, no brakes. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
Final hour of the Tom Gazzola Show on a lovely Wednesday. Hope you're doing well out there. Dave Schlemko in the co-host chair, Donovan Paulson, Josh Fenwick, Connor Spivak in studio, as well as Cam Tate, who's telling stories and also sharing some insight and just creating a ruckus around here. He's telling us stories about how he was hanging out with Mac T and Chris LeChance over from Century Group and Kevin Lowe, and how they're getting him to mess up Mac T's backswing. And he's like, I won't do it. Like, as if, Tater. And then he sent an email, says, I was riding in a cart, not driving. He points that out with Kevin Lowe, Craig McTavish, Crystal Chance, Finley Ma on the Mayfair back nine. Kevin said, I am always amazed that the Mayfair is in the middle of the city and you would never know it. Tater says, indeed. Yeah. And we were talking about that earlier. Mayfair looked fantastic on TV, international television, which is great. You know what was interesting too, Schlemmer? They were talking about City of Champions on the broadcast a lot.
Love that.
Same. It's kind of too bad that the city took that off the signs coming into the city, don't you think?
I think it'll be back.
I hope so. This is more than just, Oilers, Eskimos. It's
right after the Elks win the Grey Cup this year.
There we go. There we go. I like that very, very much. I like that very, very much. But anyway, just Tater wanted to get in the mix. He's been very spicy today, as we've said. But yeah, so there's that. Hey, you're a golf guy. You said you're starting to nerd out a little bit more when it comes to the PGA, and you got a full dose of the LPGA firsthand over the weekend. What do you make of how Liv is dying a slow death, basically?
Well, here's my shocked face.
I see.
I think it was pretty predictable.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't think it would take this long to happen. But
It's kind of hung in there somehow.
It's just kind of this whole process is just kind of getting dragged out, just like the start of it was. Honestly, I heard Tyrrell Hatton is the next guy that's going to be gone. He's in the process of working out a deal right now, apparently at one of like the party holes at the last live event, and you get to pick your song that you come up to hit to.
Yeah.
And he picked "I Want to Be Free."
Subtle.
By Queen. So, hint, hint.
Great song.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a mess. I'm sure Brooksy's happy to be out. John Rahm just got out. So any of those guys with a name or reputation big enough are, I think, working pretty hard behind the scenes to try to make their way back to the tour.
It's interesting to see how the tour will handle this. Weren't they talking about getting them on the DP World Tour and like having to get these guys to work their way back?
There's been a lot of different avenues thrown out there. What I heard with Rahm is he's going to have to pay a $25 million fine to charity, which is drop in the bucket for what he signed
What did he
for.
get? $350?
Yeah, he got something like that.
Isn't that insane?
Plus whatever he won out there.
Well, yeah, good point. They were throwing around money like candy out there.
So yeah, those guys. Hindsight's always 2020. They were ridiculed like hell when they did it, but looking back, I think they made the right call.
They got paid.
They got the bag.
What do you think of a guy like Dustin Johnson, who basically, I'm assuming he's essentially done?
Retirement deal for him.
Totally.
I think, I don't know, it depends on your personality, right? The guy, what more did he have left to prove? He won some majors. He's got a pretty good life.
He does.
Looks like.
No, he does. And trust me.
Ready to enjoy it. I remember seeing his interview on the Netflix, Full Swing or whatever, and I think he broke it down very simply. Like, why at this point in my career, why would I turn down more money, less golf, chance to spend more time with my family? Hard to argue with that.
It's life, man. Yeah. I find it interesting. I suppose if you were to counter that, you'd be like, well, where's the competitor in you? Where's the guy that wants to win championships and legacy and this and that?
That's the other side of it. That's your Rory McIlroy, right? Where he's a traditionalist and a golf purist, and he thinks that will, leave a black mark on their legacy. And yeah, why wouldn't you want to compete with the best every day? But, Rory's been a little bit, I don't want to say immature, but a little combative and throwing out chirps in the media.
Mixes it up.
I saw like a side-by-side interview with, first it was Rory and then it was Scotty Scheffler. And I think it was like just a perfect lesson in how to handle the media, right? So Rory is stirring the pot and saying, well, I don't know, like how much value did these guys bring to Live?
Yes.
Like what are they going to bring back here? And then you get Scotty up there and he's saying, oh, there's a lot of great players over there. Like, why wouldn't we want to compete with the best in the world and have our tournaments be better? So
Scotty gets the check mark in that category for handling. But I love how you brought that example up. I do look at Rory. I have to give him credit because Scotty, like Rory's been around longer, obviously.
100%.
And I think his quote unquote burden is different than Scotty's, especially given the amount of time he's put in the PGA, what he's accomplished. Don't get me wrong. Scotty's the star. Like he is the man, obviously. But I kind of appreciate how Rory stuck himself out there,
he
put his
did.
neck on the line.
He's been the ambassador of the game for a long time now.
And now what Scotty said, as you alluded to, was the right thing to say.
He's just a master class with the media, though, right? Like he always is.
That
seems like a great human being. Or that's the way he comes off, anyway.
You'd want to go play around with him, have a couple of beers, and say, you know what, that guy's a good dude.
Right.
I feel like that's the type of guy he'd probably be.
Agreed.
But yeah, the circumstances are a bit different. I get Rory mixing it up, and I think he's so caught up in it too.
Oh yeah, it's like it
that-
feels personal for him, right?
Excellent point. Yeah, exactly. So, as a fan of sport and drama, if you will, I don't mind it.
I don't mind it
But,
either.
but Rory compared to Scotty, the way they handled it, I think you summed it up really nicely. So, long R.I.P. Liv when it formally dies or goes away. Did it accomplish anything really?
Depends who you ask. You ask Phil Mickelson, and it's accomplished a ton.
Touche, Slubber.
I do think there's been some concessions from the tour already. Obviously, purse prizes have gone up and stuff like that. I personally, I think it's made a little bit of a mess of the game more than it's helped, but that's just my opinion.
The game will find a way to recover.
Yeah.
And it has had to change. I think, again, well said. Crushed it.
I mean, I just like watching golf, right? So unless it's a signature event on tour or a major, they're not really worth watching because the fields aren't as strong.
Good point. The best players when they're competing is the best for all of us, honestly. So looks like it's going to happen. We'll see how that process unfolds as it goes along. Are you trying to get my attention? Oh my God. Tater, what do you got? Oh boy. Mac, okay, this is from Cam. Before we go to break, we have Owen Newkirk coming from DLLS Sports to talk Stars. So here we go. This is from Tater. He's laughing in the corner over there. Is he still laughing right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mac T gave me the best line I will ever, ever, ever hear. A mutual friend did me a great favor. Mac looked at me straight in the eye and said, hire a speech therapist. What did he say?
I'm not quite sure.
Say it again, Tatum. How will you ever thank your friend? He said hire a speech therapist. You and Mac T, it'd be interesting to listen to you guys go back and forth with one another after a couple of social sparklers. Can't say yes. Okay, we're gonna step out for a quick breather. Tater's in the mix. He's having a lot of fun. We have Owen Newkirk from DLS Sports covering the Stars. We're gonna talk about them next on the Gazzola Show.
Tap into the fun of Play Alberta's most popular casino games. From the fast-paced spins of Cash Eruption to the retro thrills of Sevens Wild, online excitement is always at your fingertips. Spin through your choice of popular slots or discover Alberta-exclusive games you won't find anywhere else. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Guys, there never seems to be enough time in the day, but you need to make time for this. Ken Franchek here. If you're 40 or over, a quick PSA blood test is crucial for early prostate cancer detection. The Prostate Cancer Center's Man Van is a mobile health clinic driving change for men's health. A few minutes could save your life. To get the Man Van out to your business or event, book today at getcheck.ca.
Big guests, bigger takes. Jason Gregor brings the names you know and the stories you don't. Weekdays, 2 to 6 on Sports 1440. Don't miss a minute of the action on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies. With our luxury motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our seatbelt equipped, top-of-the-line motor coaches have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
The Tom Gazzola Show. All gas, no brakes. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
$10:23, final hour of the Tom Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. David Schlemko, Donovan Paulson, Josh Fenwick, Connor Spivak, and Cam Tate all in studio with us. It's been a fun show. A lot of jokes being thrown around. Tater telling stories in the commercial break. Of course, you could text us 1-833-401-1440. We're going to talk about the Dallas Stars with Owen Newkirk from DLLS Sports. He's a host down there. And listen, this is a team and a franchise that has done very good over the last 8 years. They've been in the conference finals many times. They've had tremendous players, but they haven't gotten over the hump. They've gotten to the big dance during the bubble. They lost to Tampa, and they had a strong year last year with Glenn Gulletson at the helm. And Owen, first of all, I'll welcome you into the show. Thank you for hopping on today, taking some time to talk to us. But how would you describe where the Stars are at right now? Because it's been so much almost, but not quite.
Well, Tom, thanks for having me. Schlemmer, it's always a pleasure. And I think that the Stars are kind of in the same boat that the Oilers are, meaning they're very disappointed with the short playoff run last year. Expectations were much higher, and they've been close. Now, not quite Oilers close, right? One win from a cup is not quite where Dallas was. They got within 2 wins of a cup in the bubble, but that was a while ago. And I think if you look back at the teams, honestly, the first year the Oilers beat the Stars in the Western Conference Final, which I believe was 24, that year, I think the Stars felt they were the better team and they didn't get it done. And then in 25, kind of ran out of gas, probably thought they were better, didn't end up being better. Yeah. And then last year, they still had a very good team, but had some injuries at some really bad times. And in fact, they had injuries all year. The wild stat is Dallas did not play a single game last year in the regular season or playoffs with everybody available and healthy, meaning Jamie Benn got hurt with a collapsed lung during a preseason game, and then it just went from there. Somebody was always unavailable due to injury for the whole year. Now, no excuses, right? That's not why they didn't beat the Wild. The Wild were a good team. They played really well. But a healthy Dallas Stars team probably wins that series. I don't know. I mean, them getting Quinn Hughes made a huge difference. But Dallas is sitting here right now talking about if we're healthy, we can go a long way. We believe in this team. They're kind of hoping for, as many teams are, health and young players taking steps, because other than Jason Robertson re-signing, there wasn't a big move. There wasn't any cap space. In fact, Dallas had to actually lose players because of that.
Right. Now, this was going to be my first question, so I guess we've covered this. The Stars are in a very similar situation as the Oilers. Now, I'm not sure if it's because we're in a hockey hotbed here. Maybe it's because we have Connor McDavid, but there seems to be a lot more desperation going on here and a lot more talk about what the Oilers are doing right or wrong. Is there the same thing going on in Dallas, but we just don't hear it elsewhere? Is there a little more patience going on there?
I think it's different. 2 reasons. One, because all the vitriol that you probably hear on a daily basis about the Oilers is being used on the Dallas Cowboys down here, right? As much as people are very into the Stars here, the Cowboys in Dallas are what the Oilers are in Edmonton, the Maple Leafs are in Toronto, etc. Like, that's the one where the fourth line, 13th forward conversation in the middle of August is the swing tackle or the extra guy that's going to maybe join the special teams unit is what's going on down here all the time.
Right.
I honestly think that I don't know if there's that same desperation. Look, there's urgency. Jamie Benn's not getting any younger. We didn't even know if he was going to re-sign this year. He's back. It's a year-by-year situation. everybody feels that for a guy like Ben, and David, you played with him, he's a guy that you want to see end his career with a Stanley Cup, but lots of them don't. Joe Pavelski was in Dallas, and they desperately wanted him to go out with a cup, and it didn't work out. And he was a phenomenal ambassador for the game in this city and throughout the league. So there's that. Matt Duchene is on, the back half of his career. He's still incredibly talented, but he isn't 25 anymore. Tyler Seguin continues to pile up injuries. It's not his fault. It just seems to have bad luck. He's not getting any younger. So there is an older core. In that regard, they're not the core anymore. They're the older group, because the core is the Miro Haskinens, Essa Lindell, Rope Hintz, Jason Robertson. Then you have this Jake Ottinger. Then you have this younger group, Wyatt Johnston, was Maverick Bork. He's not there anymore. And some young guys coming through. So in one sense, Jim Nill's done a really good job of having these layers of generations, not just, well, we're all in with one group, right? And I'm not saying that the Oilers have done that, but you have Nugent Hopkins, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. They're pretty important players. They go as the Oilers will go, right? Or vice versa. So I think that there was major disappointment with last year as far as how far they went. And that's a crazy expectation both of these teams have, which is not winning a Stanley Cup is kind of considered a disappointing year. Not getting to the conference final seems to be a failure. And that's ridiculous. But it's the reality when you're in a conference where you have teams like Edmonton and Vegas, Dallas, Colorado, Minnesota, somebody's going to get left out, especially with the format. But look, just making the playoffs and putting on a good show for it isn't good enough for teams like this.
Owen Newkirk with us from DLLS Sports. And one guy that his name didn't come up, and I'm curious about, because his name, it was everywhere after the Four Nations face-off, and that was Thomas Harley. Where does he fall in all of this? And I know there's a lot of hype around his name when you talk about it, but then there were times, Owen, last year where people were like, oh, he's not playing that well. And we saw him in a game or two against Edmonton where there were a lot of bad mistakes. Where is he at right now? Have people kind of soured on him?
To a point. They're not giving up on Thomas Harley, but there's a general consensus that it was not a up to snuff kind of year for Harley.
Yeah.
With the exception of the Olympics. He looked pretty darn good for Canada, right? And that's the part where you see that go, that's the guy. We want more of that. And the year before, 24-25, he did that, and he earned a massive contract. I think the weight of the contract is he signed it early last year. There was a little bit of noise there, a chance to make the Hockey Canada roster, which he did. All of that, and then he got hurt, and he suffered, trying to play through it for a while in the early part of the season. Then he sat out for a while, came back. I just think it was all an awful lot for a guy that's still pretty young in this league. He shows such composure, such personal confidence that it looks like he's unfazed by everything. But even guys like that still have things that get in their heads and bother them. And it just was that kind of year. If Harley returns to playing the way we saw him 2 years ago, or even with Four Nations and the Olympics, there's really nothing to worry about. I think the big thing is that when the price tag goes up and when you're in the 10-5 million range, you're expected to be pretty consistent and more often than not being one of the go-to guys. There's no sugarcoating. It wasn't good enough. But if he bounces back, that's one of the steps I think that the team is hoping for this year is you get him back to a normal level. Some of the other guys grow. You're not so worried about, we didn't have a big splashy summer signing because they already have a huge, deep team. There are some holes. It's not flawless, but Harley backing up Miro Heiskanen, giving that secondary sort of 1A, 1B as far as top defenseman, it could be a huge thing for them.
Totally.
Definitely. I'm not worried about Thomas Harley. I think what about our hometown boy here, Sam Steele? Versatile player. He can play up and down the lineup. Do you think he has the ability to kind of earn a top six role, or is he kind of stuck in that Swiss Army knife kind of role?
I think when the Stars are at their best, he's forced down to the lineup, and that's not a fault of Sam Steele, right? It's one of those where if he's on your first line, then maybe you aren't as deep as you thought you were at one of the wings. they have a million centers, so he's only going to play center if he's in the third or fourth line, and even then, maybe not because they have Rope Hintz, Wyatt Johnston, Matt Duchene, Radek Fox. You get the point. Like that, there's a lot of. I mean, Maverick Bourque was a natural center. He's in Nashville now. He's probably going to play maybe their second line center. He couldn't even play fourth line center. He had to be top six winger. With Steele, he's such a versatile player. The only negativity that we have had from Steele, especially last year, was he's being asked to play a top line role at times, right? A left wing alongside Johnston and Rantanen. And he's just not as much of a finisher as you would like for that role. Look, he's a great player. If he's your third line center or for third or fourth line winger, I'm thrilled on, and he's a bargain deal. I love the player, but there are times where you want to see him score a little bit more if he's going to play with a guy like Mikko Rantanen. Rantanen is an insane passer. You guys have all seen it. The way he sees the game, the way he thinks it, and then what he can do and put the puck in places. You just go, I don't even know how he saw that little thought about it, then let alone executed it. The problem is that we saw at times where he would make that pass, get it to Steele, it wouldn't go in, and then you start to wonder, is he thinking maybe I shouldn't make that pass this time because of who's my target is? And I don't want to disparage Sam Steele. He's an incredibly good, valuable player. He makes the Dallas Stars better. If Sam Steele or Justin Ristkovian are asked to play as your top line left wing because you have Jason Robertson playing with Rope Hintz, which is arguably your top. I mean, I don't know how you decide who's your top line there, but that's the one major hole on this team is, do they have enough top six wingers? They're loaded with talent, but Tyler Seguin is not very young anymore. If he's healthy, he's pretty effective in that role. Obviously, you have Rantanen, you've got Robertson on the other side. That other left wing, it was a problem last year, guys. That was a hole. Ristkovian and Steele played mostly Steele, and look, he can do most of that. I'm really trying not to say too many bad things about Sam Steele because I really like him as a player, but I really like him if he's in your middle six than in your top six.
Oh, and I have one last one for you because I know we're tight for time. You got to scoot here, but you need goaltending, and especially in the Central Division. I find the discussion around Jake Ottinger fascinating. Some people were speculating maybe they move on from him. Obviously, the thing with Pete DeBoer after the Oilers series a year ago. Where are they at with Ottinger, and what's the outlook with him? Because we know he can be an elite goaltender.
Well, they're kind of married to him now because there was a chance if they wanted to this summer before July 1st, where trade protection kicked in, that they could have done something. I understand why the thought came out there because consistency has been the issue with Jake Ottinger. Talents, top elite ability is not really a question mark. It's just whether or not he can maintain it over the long haul. Now, I go back to something that he said that I actually talked to him about, that I talked to Ben Bishop about first. What does all that mean? It seems like word salad. Well, when Ben Bishop was in Dallas, he talked about, well, if you get 30 wins during the regular season, you've had a good year. That was a benchmark for him as a goalie. And I think that's a pretty fair assessment of, if I can win you 30 games, I'm doing my job. Now, obviously, you want to have a big save percentage and all the other things. Let's talk about goals saved above expected and all that. But ultimately, if you win 30 games, you're doing a good job. So last year when Ottinger hit 30 with some criticism of being inconsistent at times, I said, do you see, Bishop was a huge mentor for Jake. And he said, yeah, 30 wins. I very much adhere to that. This is a team game. I'm here to do my job. If we win, it doesn't matter what my numbers are. I want to win. Jim Nill said at the end of the playoffs availability that he could be more consistent. And I think that's a fair comment from the general manager. Is Jake has always, since he came into this league, said he wants to be considered one of the elite goalies in the NHL. If he wants to be competing with Vasilevsky or Shesterkin or Sorokin, he has to be, or Connor Hellebuck, you have to be able to back it up, not just with play, but also with the numbers, right? And it has to be like Jake Ottinger is an incredibly talented goaltender. I don't think he's an issue at all, but there are nights where that one goal goes in, right? And you go, geez, if you want to think of yourself as an elite top 5, top 10 goalie in the NHL, those can't go in all the time. Like once in a while, right? Everybody know, and then one bad goal, you go, geez, I'd like to see my goalie make that save. which is always our generous way of saying that's a bad goal.
Yeah.
It just can't happen all the time. So that's the one thing I think for Jake Ottinger to take that next step, he has to be like, we've seen him stand on his head time and again. Can he do that more? Can he have that that was a one you like back a little less?
Very interesting. It's going to be a great year in the Central Division again. Lots of great teams, and we'll see if Dallas is in the mix. I'm sure they will. But Owen, thank you for the time. I know you're a busy man. Really appreciate it. We'll catch up again soon, okay?
Fellas, it's always a pleasure. Ask anytime. And Schlemmer, next time, I didn't remember this. You actually played with one of my favorite coaches of all time, Willie Desjardins, in Medicine Hat. And I got to find out more when we have time.
Yeah, you bet. He's one of my favorites for sure.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Owen. There you go. Owen Newkirk, DLLS Sports, covering the Stars. Great stuff from him there. Willie Desjardins.
Yeah.
From the past.
Oh, yeah. He had a little stint in Dallas.
That's
there.
right.
That's right.
Is he back in Medicine Hat now?
He is, yeah.
It's funny how, like, they got some guys are just, like, known or so comfortable in a city. Brent Sutter with the Red Deer Rebels, obviously, same type of thing. So, good stuff. Owen's great. Fantastic. Did you know him a little bit when you were playing down there?
You know what? I was looking at his Twitter. He kind of looked familiar. Yeah. Like I'd seen him around.
I'm sure you got to know every single reporter.
Yeah. In my 5 games there.
Oh, yeah. You were there briefly. But, yeah, no, he was great. That was good information on the Dallas Stars team that should be really good again.
They should. I don't know, man. I don't know if they've done enough to kind of keep up with that arms race that is the Central Division.
It is an arms race. Like, the Avs didn't really do much. They added Jaden Schwartz and Noel Juleson.
And they lost Drury.
Yeah. I don't know. But Minnesota should be great again.
They should be good. Winnipeg's going to want to have a bounce back year.
And what is Utah?
Yeah, Utah's good.
Yeah, good. Young, skilled, motivated.
They're fun to watch.
Yeah, they are. Sorry, Chicago. Tough go. It's going to be a tough one.
They're building.
They're building. Yes, that's very nice of you to say that. I also found it interesting, and Don will jump in on this if you want, that Owen compared Dallas' situation to Edmonton's, and when he laid it out, and you talked about it too, Schlemmer, they've gotten there, but it just can't get over the hump.
Yeah, very similar situations where you've been close, you've got a good veteran group, and it's starting to get a little desperate. That window's starting to close a little bit.
Yeah. That's a very real statement, but it's very true.
It happens, man. Every sports league, it kind of goes in cycles. Hard to be good for a long, long time, especially in a salary cap world.
That's a good point.
I think the one reason I look at them as slightly different scenarios is Dallas, I feel like, has just a little bit more time based on their players' clocks. Like, if they want to win with Jamie Benn, they don't have much time.
Yeah.
But with Wyatt Johnston, you still have a lot of time.
Oh, Wyatt
With a guy
Johnston's
like
really young.
Rupe Hintz, you still have so much time. Mikko Rantanen's there forever. You have all these guys are locked up, and they're still mostly young players. Like, the core of that team's still young. Heiskanen, Harley, they're all young. Ottinger. It's just, if they want to truly win with Jamie Benn getting a cup, and I guess Tyler Seguin there if he's healthy and stuff, but those guys, they need to win now, but they still have a lot more time. I view them that way, but I've also kind of looked at them and gone, can they get over the hump? I'm just not sure.
They're close.
Yeah,
they've been
close.
Add a piece or two mid-season deadline, and Ottinger plays like an elite goaltender like Owen was talking about, and maybe they're right there again. I'll say this. In my experiences, from what I've seen, Jim Nill's probably one of the best, if not the best GM in the league right now.
Yeah, hard to argue with that. Great guy, too. Like, great human being.
Yeah.
In my dealings with him.
Yeah, and you were there for
I was there for like a couple months,
Yeah.
mostly just getting health bombed. But and like Jim he'd come and talk to me all the time, of like, hang in there, like we got you for a reason, and it didn't work out there, but just the way that he handled it and treated me, you remember those things.
Great city.
It is a great city.
It is a great city. It's a wonderful place.
Uptown Dallas is that's a happening place.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well said, Schlever. Okay, one last break here on the Gazzola Show, and we'll be back to wrap. A lot of fun today on a Wednesday edition of this fine program, brought to you by Bet365 right here on Sports 1440.
At Cougar Paint and Collision, caring family touches go the extra mile.
I remember specifically there was a pretty old lady near the end of her driving career, and she came in and she was just distraught. She sat down, and within 5 minutes, she had a cup of coffee, she had a donut. A lot of shops don't offer things like that. You know, we realize how traumatic a vehicle accident can be. The little family touches like an animal or a coffee or a donut, they really go the distance.
Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact. Because our team is built on second chances, and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Greger for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Mr. Rooter cries like a little tiny baby child.
Hey, Mr. Rooter, you've got a package from Mrs. Rooter.
Aw, the card says, "Thank you for our unbreakable bond. You're the Pro Press fitting to my copper pipe."
Ooh, what's in the package, Mr. Rooter?
Let's see. It's a Plumbus 2000 spud wrench. She knew I'd never buy one for myself.
Just like tears. It's flowing or it's free with Mr. Rooter.
I love that woman.
They're going all out to earn your business at Wolf GMC Buick. Right now, they're seriously overstocked on over 400 pieces of inventory on clearance and ready to move. See for yourself. Click on the clearance tab at wolfgmcbuick.com. And it gets even better. Employee pricing continues with huge cash discounts, 0% purchase financing, and low lease rates on select vehicles. Once again, see their website for details or stop in today. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
DraftKings Casino is live, Alberta. Now you can play all your favorite casino games all in one app, from the Badlands to the Rockies. Check out the DK Slots collection with thousands of games to choose from. Play the classics like Cash Eruption, or take fan favorites for a spin like the widely popular Cash Shingo series. If table games and more are your thing, DraftKings has a huge variety. Plus, they've got more than 100 exclusive games like Rocket. And when it comes to jackpots, DraftKings Casino has tons available on your favorite games, including single-level, multi-level, and progressive jackpots. When you're ready to join the fun, download the DraftKings Casino app now in Alberta. The crown is yours. Please play responsibly. 18 and over. Physically present in Alberta. Eligibility restrictions apply. See casino.draftkings.com for details.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply.
Chalk Concrete products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, jersey barriers, and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at bashawconcrete.com. Family owned. Over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete products. Once again, start here. bashawconcrete.com.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus all. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
Man, a lot of laughs today. A lot of laughs. Got a full studio. Dave Schlemko, Cam Tate, Donovan Paulson, Josh Fenwick, Connor Spivak's been in and out. Did he make another breakfast sandwich? He did. Bagel? You're the bagel guy, Benny.
You're
I mean,
something.
I had a bagel for breakfast this morning, but no, he's outside working on a sports update right now.
Oh, okay, good. And I saw Mackenzie pop in. She was here too. So it's a busy place.
Full house today.
Yeah, it's been good though. I mean,
Low Tide's out there at the bar too.
Tide's at the bar. Oh, he's in
Already.
early. Okay, good.
The hell's he doing in this early?
His daughter just started a new job here at the mall. Assistant manager at a girls' store.
That's what Low Tide described it as.
Correct.
A girl's
A
store.
girl store.
Okay.
There's a lot of those in the mall.
There are. It's like ladies like to shop.
Sure do.
They certainly do. This has been fun. I mean, we went over so many things. A bunch of texts had come in. We were talking about Liv, and like Jason Texan said, Liv was and is a joke. Exhibition golf, middle-aged, washed-up PGA guys, Rom, so principled, right? DJ, Norman, etc. I guess that's one thing we didn't talk about too, is the legacy of guys like Phil, Greg Norman. Is John Rom forever tainted? Same with Koepka, same with Bryson. Or does this end up being a blip on the radar?
Well, I mean, for a lot of those guys, are they going to have like an unbelievable legacy anyways? Like maybe John Rahm.
Norman was supposed to be a legend.
Yeah, true.
right?
Yeah, no, sorry.
Phil?
Like, let's leave out Norman for a sec.
Okay.
Phil, I think, is doing enough away from tour play to ruin his legacy.
Good
No
point.
problem. I mean, you're getting kicked
Yeah.
out of your local country clubs for assaulting young girls. I think that's going to do more to hurt your legacy than going to live well.
Yes.
Norman, yeah, I don't. That's a polarizing one. Because like it seems like the tour guys hate his guts, like
Yeah.
want to fight him.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I don't really understand what the huge beef is between like Norman and Rory and all that.
Did he? Because like he was a very good player in his heyday. I felt like from what I remember, Schlemmer back me up or disagree. He was also there was a charm and charismatic kind of feel around him.
I think so.
The
I
shark,
mean, it's
right?
a little bit. Yeah, he's the shark. He's a little before my time. Like I don't
Like,
really
I was-
remember watching him. But
You and I are maybe a couple years apart, but I barely remember. Like he was already getting pretty old when I was,
yeah.
Maybe getting into my teens.
Well, like, what did he? What? I'm not sure what he did, or he must have said something that really rubbed guys the wrong way.
Or
I'm
was
not
he
really
always
sure.
just a confrontational, different type of cat in the clubhouse? Or
Could be.
there's
I-
always.
I really don't know.
Yeah, me neither. But I mean, like you said, like guys don't like him.
I really like make it well known that they hate him.
Yeah.
So there must be a reason.
I would think so. I would think so. Because you do see, and that's where the full swing was great. It kind of gives you that peek behind the curtain.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
camaraderie between them. They share flights together, accommodations, and stuff.
Loved it.
Stuff like
But
that.
another thing that I've heard about the live is some guys haven't got all their money.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Some guys haven't got their full like signing bonus or kind of whatever they signed for, and they're like the rumor is they're probably not going to see it.
Oh, that's like KHL esque.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the same kind of thing. Think about it.
It is. Well, I mean,
or the guys that are running the leagues, anyways.
I was just gonna say, a bit shady.
Yeah.
Right. And
Well,
I guess that's the risk you take. like you hear the guys that went over to the KHL and they'd be like, "Yeah, I got a bag of money."
Oh, you've heard horror stories, guys taping wads of cash to their bodies while they're playing, hiding it in the roof of their apartment when they go on a road trip so they don't break in and steal it.
Yeah, I remember Yan Denis, the goalie, telling me he played in Habarovsk. And Tate, are you okay? Montana Rice says, "Someone get a sip of water." There's like 5 people coughing in here. It's unbelievable as we're trying to have a conversation. But I remember Yan Denis telling me that, he was playing in Habarovsk, and I think that's on the Chinese border.
Okay.
And for one of their flights, they had to move the skate sharpening machine from below in the storage compartment to one of the seats to balance out the plane.
Oh, boy.
And then when you looked on the interior walls, like some of them were duct taped together. And I was like, "You played there?" He's like, "Yeah, man, scariest year of my life."
Yeah. Yeah, count me out of that one.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I played with Kip Chura in Phoenix, and he actually played in China on that team in the KHL.
The
And
Kunlun Dragon?
Kunlun,
Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, I've heard some just wild stories of road trips. Like you're flying like 14 hours to somewhere in Russia,
Yes.
and you got to stop halfway. And once you get to Russian aerospace, and everyone's got to get off the plane and get your passports checked, and then get back on 7 more hours, get off the plane, go play.
Oh, not fun.
No.
And probably not good for you too. Like,
can't be.
Could lead to injury. I think Curtis Lazar told me this story when the NHL went and played a couple games in China.
Yeah.
And they had struggles getting to the arena and getting around because of all the traffic and congestion. And apparently it got so bad from like the pollution and stuff on the bus that like everybody wanted to get off, and they were stuck on this thing for hours, and opening up windows and vents and stuff didn't really help. And yeah, like you get your bag, but if you go over there, it's a bit dicey. And that's interesting to hear about Lib. Schlummer, this was fun. It flies by when you're in here. I have to say that.
Love it, buddy. It's a good show.
Likewise. A lot of fun. Looking forward to next Wednesday.
You bet.
That's going to do it for the Tom Gazzola show. Everybody's coughing except for Schlemmer and I. Benny, are you okay? Thumbs up. Tater's okay. Thumbs up. Dono, are you alive? Thumbs up. Okay, everybody's good. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Thank you for being here with us on the Tom Gazzola show. One more Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fusion Promo Marketing. Expand your brand, high-quality promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Get noticed at fusionpromomarketing.ca. That's Fusion with the Z. For everybody in the studio, have a wonderful day. Here's Dono.
Sports 1440 update.
In case you missed a couple of key injuries for the Jays, it is Shane Bieber going on 15-day IL with a shoulder injury. And then in the NFL, you've got wideout Calvin Austin, the New York Giants. He's out for the year with a torn ACL. MLB action today. The Jays back in action against the Royals. First pitch going at 5:07. Spencer Miles gets the bullpen start for the Jays. The Tigers hosting the Rays. The Cubbies clash with the D-backs. The Guardians are in Anaheim. The Pirates battle the Padres. You got the Bo Sox. They clash with the Marlins. Coming up next on Sports 1440, it is the Frenzy. I'm Donovan Paulson. That's your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton.